goes out to my mother, Beverly K. Jacobs, and to the world. Let them know that we live by faith and not by sight.
Heavenly parents, we come to you in prayer saying thank you for this day. Thank you for another day. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for this week. Thank you for everything you have given to us, everything that you have put in us, and everything that you will put into us. We pray right now for your spirit, your knowledge, your understanding, your truth. As we go into your word, open up our minds. Give us a spirit of light, spirit of interpretation, spirit of clarity, spirit of truth, that we may not stumble. In your power, that we may be able to uphold your way and your law. We're saying thank you for all of us that are and all those that will be joining. We pray for all Israel, that you will love them, bless them, and bring them into the fold as well in their appointed times and in their appointed seasons. We know that your purpose will outlast all, so we thank you ahead of time for it and every purpose that you have purposed within each of us. So we thank you that you let you have your way and your will done in each of and every one of our lives. In your name we pray, forever and ever going forward. In your name. Hallelujah.
Amen.
All right. This one is purpose rules over vanity. Purpose. And everybody need to know how to spell anything?
This purpose rules over vanity.
Yes. Everyone got it? Okay. Now, first of all, before we go into the type, now anybody can remember what is vanity, first of all?
To be vain.
To be vain, true. It's the root word of vain. To be vain, V-A-I-N. Anybody know what to be vain means?
Disobedient.
It is definitely disobedient. So vain.
Conceited.
It's definitely conceited. It's definitely proud. But these are the things that vain, some of the titles that it assumes. But it's the end thereof for what is vain. Now, everything that is vain, it said it ends foolishly. But that's the soft version, because like I told you, when you hear the word fool nowadays, it's downplayed so much to the point that fool now sounds like it's a comical thing, right? When you hear the word fool, you start thinking about clowns and makeup, right? You start thinking of justice and things like that when you hear the word fool. So they have made light of it to make it sound like it's just a joke more. But a fool, according to Yah, ends terribly. The end of a fool is a terrible end. So that's why he says, don't die in vain. Vain actually means, if you didn't know, write this down, that vain is what you call hopeless. All the activities we do, but the end thereof is what? Hopeless. That is what vain is. Anybody know what hopeless means? Hopeless means it lacks saving. The destiny of it or the end result of it is foolishness. It ends terribly. It finishes. It has no finish. It has no end, but to be torn down terribly. That is what vain is. You can be vain with many things, right? Vain is thinking that whatever you have in your possession can save you, when those things are just what? Hopeless. So it's vain. There are those who act vain, and there's those who speak vainly. But the end thereof is a terrible ending. Right? Now, vanity is the activity of being vain. It's to carry about. It's to toss to and fro all the motions of sickness, to try to figure out ways and schemes and plots in order to save your life, right? But you come to find out that all those plots and activities are going to be found to be vain, meaning there's no hope in it. Now, purpose rules over vanity because it's stronger. Purpose will always have hope. Anyone that is purpose-driven will have what? Will have hope. Those that are not purpose-driven will not have what? So that's what it's telling you off top. Purpose rules over vanity. So you don't want to spend your life vain, because that is a hopeless life. But you definitely want to make sure that your life has purpose, because purpose-driven people will have hope. But vain-driven people will have no what? There's no hope in being vain. Right? So let's understand it. Go to Isaiah 45, sorry. Now, let's read. As we go along, I will kind of give you interpretations of what some of these things mean. The Old Testament was written by the old prophets, Moses and the old prophets. Now, whenever they was expressing things that was going to come at a latter time. That's why they called them prophets. They were speaking of things that would happen in the future. Some things they would see in their time, and some things they were saying was going to happen when their time had come and went. But it would be for their children's children's children, you know. So that's what a prophet is. A prophet is greater than any fortune teller or anything like that that's walking on earth that swear and they can predict the future, like even like weathermen, right? They think they can predict the weather. Sometimes they get it right, but a lot of times they what? They be wrong, don't they? Well, why is that? Well, so that you don't put your trust in them, obviously. It's given like that for a reason, so that you don't put your trust in those predictions. You got predictions, people like Nostradamus and stuff like that who say, oh, I predict this gonna happen. Somebody said, well, I predict the world gonna end in 2000, you know. 2000 came and went, didn't it?
I be telling people, man, I'm telling them, don't listen to that other people.
Yes, don't be listening to all these people that swear they know, because they don't know. And even if they might get something right, it was just really in the intent that it may fool you. Because sometimes y'all tempts you to see if you'll follow behind that nonsense or that foolishness. So foolishness is a very serious word, right? That's why I say don't call nobody a fool. Not those that are in the Lord. Those that are in the truth, don't call them fools, because you don't know now what you speak. Why would he say don't call nobody a fool if it wasn't a very serious offense?
No fool means get your head cut off?
Yeah. Foolish means to get your head cut off, exactly. Because that's going to be a terrible ending. Led what? Astray. So that's why I say those type of things you definitely don't play with the interpretations. But we know that Satan went about to confuse a lot of the words, giving them double meanings and double standards in order that y'all would not understand the language in which that these people here speak. We got a lot of witches, a lot of soothsayers, a lot of sorcery, a lot of wizards in real time. Not back in the days. We don't have those days since the time of Moses when he threw down his snake and the other ones threw down their little sticks too, and they became snakes. And y'all thought, well, those people, that was in those days. Surely we don't have them in these times, do we? But you come to find out, they still here. Same witches. Same, what they call them, like Merlin was wizards and necromancers and things like that. They still here. Sorcery, witchcraft. Those things still exist to this day. People still walk around. How do you know? Because we still got fortune tellers, don't we? Psychics, right? Psychic hotlines to tell you that these stuff still does exist. The goal is for you not to get caught up in the sway of it, thinking that those things can save your life, like astrology and things like that. Because people who believe in stuff like that, that's what I mean about foolish. Because those things are only there to lead you astray. Right? When the devil told Peter that he wanted to sift him like wheat, that was what he meant. He wanted to take away his purpose. Whenever the devil wants to sift you like wheat, he wants to take away your purpose. The purpose in which you was created to become. The devil always desires to do that, especially to those that are supposed to be the children of Yah. The devil always wants to take away your purpose and give you a what type of ending? A vain ending. Meaning pointless and what? Hopeless. To no avail. That's what vain means. Meaning to no avail. I did all this for what? Nothing. And that's what vain means. To do all this for nothing. So, let's read Isaiah 45. It says, so thus says the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have helped. Now, right hand, we always know the interpretation of right hand means people say, oh, we're talking about your right and left hand. No, he is talking about your right hand, but the right hand represents the hand of what? Righteousness and the surrounding help that provides for it. So when it says, I have helped your right hand, meaning I have secured you in righteousness. He says, and I have done this so to subdue nations before him. Cyrus is another name for Israel, if you didn't know. I will loose the loins of kings. Loins represents confidence. Because your loins is where you keep your confidence at. Meaning your gut. Right? You lose your gut, you lose your courage. Right? Remember the Wizard of Oz, where they had the lion? What did the lion had to lose? He had to go find his what? His courage. That's why they said the loins. Yeah, it represents losing your courage. So kings supposed to always walk with confidence and courage. So he says in these last days that he was going to subdue nations before Israel, and he would loose the courage of kings and confidence. Kings are what you call those leaders of packs. So how they used to say it, if you take down the head, you take down the head sheep, right? Then take down the shepherd and the sheep will what? Will scatter. So that's what he's referring to. But Yahweh, he goes directly at the heads of these congregations. He doesn't go after, you got to understand, Yah has no need to worry about the people sitting all the way in the back. Because the devil doesn't dwell all the way in the back of the church. Where does the devil dwell? He's in the front. So that therefore the devil will be where? He will be the actual pastor or the shepherd of the sheep. So that's why the Yah always goes after the heads. That is where you disassemble the foolishness at. Start from what? The head. Right? So he says this. I will loose the loins of kings to open before him, still talking about Cyrus, the two leaved gates. And the gates shall not be shut. So when he's talking about the two leaved gates, he's talking about the two gates of salvation. Listen. Yah will open a pathway for Israel to be what? Saved. And he will not what? Shut that what? That gate or that door. Until all Israel is what? That will be saved through. So Yah says it within himself, putting himself in the equation. He says, I will go before you and make the crooked places what? Straight. As a shepherd does for his sheep. I will break in pieces the gates of what? Brass. And cut asunder the bars of iron. Gates of brass, bars of irons are talking about the gates and bars of captivity. Okay? Because he says to us, one of our weaknesses they felt like was for us. That's why they normally do it. You ever notice what type of material handcuffs are made out of? And it's the same material that's made on any prison bars. Yeah, that iron. They figure like iron for Israel is their weakness. So you put them behind iron and handcuff them with iron, they can't break loose. So that's why he says it takes up to Yah to break those bars of what? Iron. You see how like Superman kind of bends the bars and stuff like that. But yes, that's what it refers to. Because they believe in their heart, they figure like the devil taught them all a little. And you ever wonder how they knew how to do those things? It is because the devil's spirit went to them and kind of showed them a lot of things that they could do upon Israel that would be very helpful for them to keep us in what? Captivity. It's not that they know anything of themselves. They don't. It's given to them through these spirits of ideas and knowledge. Why don't we use brass and iron handcuffs? Right? Brass, before they had iron, it was what? Brass. Brass was those very things that they brought y'all back on the slave ships with. They had you in chains of brass and iron. So they knew those were weapons that they could use to bind you down. You ever wonder how they knew? Because remember, they wasn't using that stuff on the animals. But they definitely knew it would work on you, didn't it? 3. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness. Meaning Yah reveals treasures represents, we talked about that before. The words of what? Treasures are words, aren't they? People think that they're talking about riches, but riches really are the words. It's one thing to have a lot of stuff outwardly, but it's definitely an inwardly thing, isn't it? So the inwardly, the treasures is of your darkness, of captivity, things that you don't know, Yah will put that treasure within. Darkness, because he says, and they will be hidden, what? Riches of secret places. Now, he's going to give to you one of these treasures right here. He says what? That thou mayest know that I, Yah, which called thee by thy name, am the Yah of what? Israel. That's a treasure in itself. To know that. Yah of Israel means Lord of Israel. Meaning, how else was Israel going to be saved? I'm going to tell you what God means. Listen very well. God means the means of salvation. That's what it means. When people say we pray to God, meaning by the means of our what? Salvation. This will save us. That's why it says on the back of the dollar, what? In God we trust. So a God can be anything till it's on the dollar. Their God was what? The money. So money was their God. For some of us, it used to be our God too, though we won't admit it. But some of us, for us, it was our God too. It was our go-to. God is your go-to. When you think you're in trouble, what is your go-to? That's your God. Whatever it is your go-to in your time of distress, guess what? Telling you now, that's your God. That is your God. Your God is your go-to whenever you're in time of trouble or in need. For a lot of people, money is their what? It's their go-to. It's their God. Right? That's why I say you got the God of Buddha, right? God of monks, right? So everyone has their God, meaning their go-to. When they think times get... Some people, for them, is their guns. Guns can be their gods. It's their go-to if they're in trouble. Where's my gun? Gotta understand. That's what God represented. That's how we knew his name was not God. When we looked at that they had it on a dollar and it was referring to that money in that person's hand, we knew right then the name was not God. Because we knew it was referring to that money. Wasn't referring to the man upstairs. So God was not the heavenly parent's name. You with me? So God meant what? Your go-to. Your means of what? Salvation. That's what God meant. And it's telling you that Israel has its own means of what? Salvation. That's what he's saying. The God of who? Israel. Their means of salvation. Okay? 4. And does not their God know them? How do you know? Because verse 4 says, for Jacob, my what? My servant's sake. And Israel, my what? Elect. For anyone that's under the misassumption of who are the elect of Israel and who are the elect of God, so-called. He already deems his people. That's how you know that their God ain't money. He says, I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not even known me. That's what he meant. I told you once before that your name represented your what? Your purpose. So for each of those that are called by Yah's purpose, I have surnamed thee by the purpose in which you are created to be. So he says Jacob was already surnamed. Or already sur means to come before. So that means they have already been purposed. They have a purpose. Jacob definitely has a purpose. A reason in being here. And it is not in vain. They have a means of what? Salvation. 5. I am the Lord, and there is none else. See? So who's going to save Israel? Yeah. And he says that, and there is what? None else. So there's nothing you can look unto that's going to save you in these last days, but through the Lord, which is Yahushua, Lord, and what? The Mashiach, the Savior of us, our Christ. There is no God beside me. There you go. See, so that money was not ordained by who? Yeah. See, it wouldn't be nothing standing next to him to say, we right along with you. So that money, so that's how you know that God doesn't even accept what? Money in the kingdom of heaven. As you can see right there. There won't be no other God besides him. Won't be nothing standing next to him. So how many gods are there? Only one. It's only one. It's only one God. Now the God we believe in, the God that we know, is not like the heathens know. It's not like other people think. They have gods, many gods. That's what they say. They serve many gods. How do you know? Because some people worship the sun as a god. Some people worship the moon as a god, right? Some people worship zodiac as gods, don't they? Right? Tarot cards. Some people do voodoo for a living. Some people do magic tricks for a living. You know what I mean? They got many things that they call gods. The stars, right? Some people call the night God. Some people call the day what? God. Some people look at animals and call them what? God. Some people put up statues of bulls and say, that's our God. Some people worship the elephant and say, that's our God. Statues of elephants. Statues of rats. Statues of bunnies. Keebler bunnies. Many gods. Oh, we think we don't worship bunnies. What about Easter? For those who say, nah, we don't worship bunnies. Yeah. What is Easter then? Because we know that Rabbits don't lay eggs. Yeah, mind blown, right? Yeah, they don't lay eggs. Yeah, scratch. Oh, Lord. Yeah. So, we know that there's many gods. Some people worship snakes. You got statues of snakes, right? Some people worship nations of people. Some people say, well, Egyptians, right? Oh, Cleopatra, right? Some people worship people, don't they? You got your Zeuses, and right, your Thors, right? God of thunder. So some people think the thunder is by itself as a god. Some people think the rain. Some people, like the Mayans, used to praise the rain. They thought the rain by itself was God, right? So that's what you're going to understand about a lot of nations, that they have certain things and individual things that they try to scrutinize and put under a very small microscope and call that is my God. But we, Israel, Jacob, does not believe in the God that is that small. See, while they're worshiping cheetahs or bears or pictures of lions or Virgin Marys or women holding babies or white power, black power, that can be our God, brown power, we know that our heavenly parents control the whole thing. Everything. It's only one God over it all. That's the difference between Israel. They never had divided. They wasn't red and hairy. They didn't have many gods. They didn't isolate. They didn't limit Yah to one or two things. That's why he says, the house, when you build me, who can limit me to a house? Who can limit me to a certain vessel? Right? We know that Yah controls what? Yahweh controls the whole thing. Everything. And everything in it. On heaven, on earth, and even in where? In hell. Controls it all. We know that. Space too. Wherever there's life, he's there. We know that. That's the difference. Right? And that is the purpose we know. That is why Yah says, for them I know. Because they know me. He says, because there is none else. I girded you, though you have not known me. See that what he meant? I put this within you to know these things, though you never even knew me. See, before we even had to acknowledge of Yah and who Yah was, it was already put in us, like Abraham, to think as a little boy, when he looked at all these very statues and things like that, he looking around and said, where's God? And then you had this one man come to the store and buy this little antique statue, and you had another person come in and buy that little statue, and everybody buying these statues, and he looking around like, why are you buying all these statues, Daddy? And then Daddy tells him, well, son, these are their gods. Then he said, they don't look like gods to me. I'll prove it to you. Well, how you gonna prove it to me, son? Well, he just goes over to the nearest statue and tip it over. And watch it fall to the ground and break. And Daddy runs to his knees, trembling. What you do, son? Why you do that? He said, I just want to show you that there was no God. Because if it was God, couldn't it save itself from that great fall? If it was God, couldn't it pick itself back up and put itself back on the shelf if it could? If it was God, couldn't it? But how is it? This little bitty boy just tips over a whole God. Little bitty boy tips over a whole God and breaks it. Therefore, to Abraham, he knew right then and there, that ain't no God. That is not nothing that I should ever have to what? Fear. Listen. 6, that they may know from the rising of the sun. Where does the sun rise? North, south, east, or west? Anyone knows? Where does the sun rise? In the east. Exactly, because we know it sets where? In the west. So always remember that according to compass. That the sun, if the sun comes up in the morning, you just look where it's coming up at and just tell yourself that's the what? That's the east. And it sets where?
In the west.
In the west. Okay? It says, and that there is none besides me. I'm the Lord, and there is none else. 7 says, I formed the light and created darkness. You see? I make peace. And I create what? Evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. Yahuwah. So drop down, you heavens, from above, and let the skies pour down what? See, so it's telling you what the heavens reveals unto man. As the cloud opens up and the light shines through to the earth. It says this was what revealed from the heavens, right? When light was given unto man. And what was that light, he said, that shined upon man? What was it? He called it. Poured down what? Righteousness. It said, let this be unto man. This is the only way. Let the earth open and let them bring forth what? Salvation. So what it say when it says let the earth open, he's talking about captivity. Let the prison doors what? Open. And let them bring forth what? Salvation. So now he given the earth the means in which to be what? Saved. And let righteousness spring up what? Together. I, the Lord, have what? Created it. So even that was created from the Lord. By what means a man was going to be what? Saved. Woe unto him that strived in with his maker. So now he's talking about creationists. Woe unto them who want to argue with his what? Who wants to argue with their heavenly parents that created them and tell them, well, I know what you said, but that ain't what I'm finished to do. Woe unto you. What does woe mean? You ain't figured it out by now? Woe means hopeless. Woe unto you then, meaning hopeless, the situation that you are in. Woe unto you. Let the potsherds strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay, he says, shall the clay or the mud say unto him that fashioned it, you know how you fashion like a potter's clay? He's fashioning it, building it, making the arms, legs, because he said he created Adam and Eve from the dust of the what? Of the earth. That's the clay. He said, so when I fashion it, shall they who being made fashion itself get to speaking to his master who's making it, talking about, what you doing? What you doing? Shall the clay being formed into a man look up and say, what you doing? What you doing? Why you make me look like this? Huh? Why? Can it say that? Should it say that? Should it talk back? You being created. What words do you got? What knowledge do you know? How smart are you against your maker? See, that's the thing he talks. But we so foolishly speak like that, don't we? I want to do what I want to do. So can it look and tell its maker, what you making down here? Or can the work say, he have no hands? Can the work say, when it says that he has no hands, it's saying hands of what? Righteousness. Meaning, has he provided a way? Can one, because you know, does your hands help you what? stay up. Hands help you do a lot, don't they? So imagine you walking with no hands. Just imagine, you ever imagine that? For just a second, you got legs, but you ain't got no hands. No arms, no hands. On both sides. Could you imagine that for just a moment? Imagine yourselves with just no hands. See, that's why all y'all got fingers and going about right now, looking in your phones and looking in your tablets. Oh yeah, you know, clicking remotes. But just could you imagine for a second, no hands? It's hard to imagine doing them same things you're doing now without no hands. No arms or hands. From the shoulder down, nothing. Could you imagine? Because when you tip over, how you was going to get back up?
That's what I meant.
When you're laying down, right? How you were going to get yourself back up? See, we take hands for granted, don't we? We take them for granted. Special shouts out to those who don't have arms right now because they understand what I'm saying right now. Just imagine for not having hands, you probably got to use your teeth and mouth for everything, right?
Yes,
toes and stuff. How would you feed yourself? How could someone feed you? Right. I'm not just talking about you without arms. I'm talking about just everybody around you and you included with just no arms. That would be a sight, wouldn't it?
That's a stick.
Right?
Your feet would have to be.
Mm-hmm. And you have to have some good balance and well, I know you would definitely have to have balance in your gluteus maximus to be able to hold yourself up while you use your feet to do all of your transactions. Your gluteus maximus would definitely have to be very balanced and strong, whether it be right cheek or left cheek. I mean, just think of the possibilities. So he's telling you, so we know that arms is what you call salvation. That's why I always said this, you know, spiritually. My hand, my arm. Hand represents, you got fingers. Let me give y'all this interpretation. Listen, you got fingers, right? Every finger represents a person. Listen. So you got people. Now, hand starts adding fingers, doesn't it? Because it said 2 becomes what? So now it's making itself out to be a hand, right? 3 is a chord, ain't it? 4 is a band, right? 4 to 5 is what you got a whole band now. You got a whole group of people, right? Now, so the arm will represent the rest of the army coming through with the rest of the strength. You getting it now? Finger will represent one person. The hand will represent a few people. And the arm would represent what? The backup. Right? Just like a punch, wouldn't it? How would you land a punch? Doesn't it start with first balling your what? Start from every little finger, balling your little fingers into one fist, and one fist will make it power, but it ain't as powerful until you add the what into it? The arm into it, which draws all the strength to push forward. Right, army, exactly. Arm is short for army. That's really, you were 100% right. Arm is short for army. Right? Got it? All right. So as it says that, Kenneth says he have no hands, meaning he ain't got no means of salvation. We ain't none of us going to be saved. Well, does his creation speak to the creator like that? Like, why did you make us? Unless you got a point for what? Making us. That's what he was trying to say in this illustration. 10. So woe unto him again that saith unto his father, why did you give birth to me? Or to the woman, what has you brought forth out of the womb? Right? Ask his mother that. Why when he pop out? Why am I out here? Just why? Explain to me. What is the purpose? Right? Thus says Yah, the Holy One, letting you know that he's very what? Holy. And his maker. Ask me of things to come concerning, see, my sons, and concerning the works of my hands, what? Command ye me. Meaning that Yah wants you to what? To pray and what? Ask. Ask, and I'll tell you what I want for my sons and daughters to what? To do. So this is a person who said, ask, you shall what? Seek, you shall what? Find. And knock, and the door shall be what? And what shall you receive once you do all these things? The Spirit. And the Spirit will declare unto you what? Righteousness. That's what Yah wants you to do. This is the wisdom of Yah. You want to know what to do, I'm just to tell you. That's what the Spirit going to come out and say, well, Yah wants you to do righteousness. Israel, you want to be saved? Here, righteousness. 13. And there you go. See, I have raised him up in what? Righteousness. See? And I will direct all his what? Ways. This person who understands righteousness as a son or daughter, he shall build my what? My cities. And he shall let go of my what? Captive. See, he was going to free the rest to the possibilities of righteousness. And now, how much was he going to get paid for doing it? Yeah, not for price or for reward, says the Lord of hosts. Now, when I talk about price and reward, now, this goes back to some of the people that we deal with, a lot of preachers and a lot of pastors who always swear, I ain't finna do nothing unless you what? Pay me what? Pay me first. See, these are the ones that go to on Sundays and stuff that I always talk about, I ain't doing nothing unless my bowl is filled up full of money. I'm not even for to speak a word. I ain't even coming out. These are the ones that say, I ain't even finna go to the concert. I'm not finna get on that stage until you let me know how much money my promoter has profited for me even getting on stage. Some of them say, well, I ain't even do a show without, what, 100,000 up front? You know, that's what they be saying. That's what he's talking about. But how much his sons and daughters deliver Israel for how much? Nothing. Could you imagine that? Why? Why you think? Because first of all, if you swear you love somebody, love don't cost what? Exactly. Love doesn't cost a thing, first and foremost. If you love somebody, then they gotta pay you to help them. So that already letting you know that number two, it falls right into number two. That you only doing it because you're getting somewhat out of it. Therefore, you already proven yourself not to be sincere. See, these will be the Balaams. They only prophesy for reward. So that means also, it's like the mercenaries for hire. You ain't going to know, because what if your enemy come with a little bit more money, what you going to do? See, that's why you can't get caught up in the money sway of it all. Because you'll jump ship, won't you? See, Israel can say, that's why I say without money, because if Israel hand you this amount and say, well, you're going to save Israel, okay, you said, now all I got is 2 mites, like the woman said, all I got is 2 pennies. Can you go to save Israel for 2 pennies? And then another race of people come up there and say, well, guess what? We got millions of dollars. What would you do for us? See, now that one who's bringing salvation has a lot to consider, doesn't it? Who am I going to say? See, so that's why I said it ain't going to be about money. It's just because they told what to do, and they're going to do it through obedience and love. It's not because they care about the money. It's for peace. They actually love what they do. It's a passion thing. That's how you know them. It's just a passion thing. It ain't got nothing to do with how much they're going to get out of it. They'll do it for what? For free. It's just the passion in them for it. The love they actually just have for their people. Like Moses. How much was Moses paid to set Israel free? That's what he meant. That's what he meant. It's just pure passion, pure desire, and number one, pure command. Pure command. My word comes out and it doesn't come back what? Void. You either gonna do it or I will find someone what? Who will. That's it. That's how you know these people ain't sincere, so you can already come out of that mess now, just even knowing that. No, they ain't doing nothing without a payment. So you know right then and there, those are not y'all saviors. Okay? Understand that. They're not y'all saviors if they already coming at you talking about, well, how much you gonna give me first? Right? Because what if you ain't got nothing? What does that mean for you? What if you ain't got nothing to give? Well, that goes into the next verse when it was telling you that's why he said salvation was for the poor. The poor shall inherit what? The earth. See, there you go. That's how they was going to inherit it anyway, because it wasn't given to the what? To the rich. Wasn't given to the rich anyway. So the servant of Yah already knew that. This message ain't for you, old rich person. This message ain't for you. See, that's what they already understood. This message ain't for you. So now you can see the certain type of people that Yah deals with. So the message definitely wouldn't even be made up for them, because he already said it's going to come without a price. So that already X's out quite a bit of people on the list that you thought could have been saviors, right? Now that they're walking around with the Gucci and the Versace on, and the Bulgaris, and they got the private planes and the helicopters just to do it. All paid expenses to do it. Where's my caviar to do it? Where's my shrimp cocktail to do it? Then we know these ain't the ones that were sent to what? To do it. They ain't gonna come in that shape, form, or fashion. That's what he's showing you. Not for price, right? You're not gonna even look towards a person like that to deliver Israel. So don't even be looking for that type of sign. So it gives you the signs to look for. Oh, it ain't gonna be a person like that. It ain't gonna be nothing that's dressed like that. With the happy attire. Wearing kings and queen clothes. It ain't gonna be looking like that. Lavishly set. Right? 14. So thus says Yah, the labor of the Egyptians and the merchandise of Ethiopia. So Yah already telling you their labors are going to be in vain. And of the Sabians, men of stature, shall come over unto you, Jacob, and they shall be thine. You see? They shall come after thee. In what? In chains. They shall come over. And they shall fall down unto your feet. And they shall make what? Supplications and prayers unto thee, saying, surely God is what? In you. And there is none else. There is no God. You see, the other nations going to have to come to that point too. When they realize it is only a God. It's not the God of them, but the God of who? Jacob. That's what he's telling you right there. They're going to have to let go of their what? Gods. And recognize that it's only the God of who? Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and who? Their God. Because what God do they believe in? A God of one, two, or a God of all? God of all. He's not just the God of thunder. No, he controls the rain too. Controls the sun too. The night and the daytime too. And the snow. And the hail. And we can go on and on. The thunder, right? He controls what? The hurricanes, the earthquakes, right? The tsunamis, the tornadoes, the twisters, the hail, all of it. He's not just one or two elements. See, that is elementary thinking. If you think your God is just limited to just that. Right? He controls all. And it's a heavenly parent even in that. It's not just a male, is it? Because he didn't create us both male and what? Exactly. Perfect balance. I hate when they just try to make it seem like it's only just a man. And not understand it's a heavenly parents of balance. That's why we call them heavenly parents, if y'all wanted to know. Because we know it's the God of balance. Right? Because how can you create kids with no mother? It's impossible. Heavenly parents won't create Adam and Eve but if it's just only a God, a man. So why would he need two? To even get started. He said it takes two. Even to start. Right? So we know then, therefore, that confusion of, oh, it's just a man. That's male chauvinist, okay? And for those who say, hey, it was just all women. This ain't Wonder Woman. We ain't living in the Amazon. The Amazonians. They're males too. Right? So verily thou art God that hidest thyself. See? So God is sealed where? Within who? Within us. Within Israel. Within Jacob. Is this God sealed within? They know. O God of Israel. See, the Savior. That's how you know. The Savior of Israel is sealed within where? Israel. 16. See, for these that understand this, they shall be ashamed and also confounded for those who don't understand this. All of them, they shall go to confusion together that are makers of what? Idols. Told you, those little mini gods. They're going to be confused. That's why it says in the verse before, remember, they're going to all combine and like when they figure it out, like, oh man, y'all the one who y'all got it. Because we thought that there was Zeus. We thought it was just the God of thunder. You said it was, he controlled the heaven and control all of it. So we know now that what you believe in, that's the what? The truth. It's only salvation in that. We ever believe in money. Some of us believing in gold. Some of us believing in diamonds. Bitcoin. But we come to find out some of us believing in stocks and bonds. But you said just believing and trusting who? Yeah. We come to find out what you said was right. Out of everything else we thought we could trust in. That's what they were saying. The rest will be confused and go into confusion. Confusion is the darkness. 17, but Israel shall be saved. In what? In the Lord. With an everlasting what? Salvation. You shall not be ashamed or confounded, world without what? Right there. And he put the period on there. Because the period is not for Israel. The period is for whom? The rest of the nations. Read between the what? The lines. The period is for the rest of the nation, meaning they only had a time and a what? Period. To do what they do. But he just told Israel will be world without what? End. They will continue. But everything else will stop at that period. Or appointed time. 18. For thus says Yah, that created the heavens, Yahweh himself that formed the earth and made it. See, they have established it, created it, and they created it not in what? Vain. You see right there. They did not create it to be hopeless. It was not created to be what? Hopeless. He formed it, heavenly parents formed it to be what? Inhabited. So what he's telling you, they did not make the earth and heaven to be what? Hopeless. Or what? To not be what? Inhabited. I am Yah, and there is none else. So what does it mean? He formed it to be inhabited. He didn't create it in vain. When was things in vain? In Genesis 1:1. In Genesis 1:1. Look. I'm going to show you because I know you're probably confused. Let's go to Genesis 1:1 then, since I want y'all to see it for yourself. It says, in the beginning, Yah created the heaven and what? The earth. Now, look at it. 2, what does it say? And the earth was without form and what? And what? Was upon the face of the deep. Right there. The earth was without what? It was and void and darkness. So that means there was no what there? No. There was no light. See, this was just an earth. But there was no man, was it, upon it? And there was no living thing, what? Upon it. So what he was really telling you that there was no righteousness upon the world in the beginning. So that also meant people didn't have what in those days? No. They didn't have hope. In those times, there was no what on the earth? There was no hope. That's what he was saying. It was just void. Void means vain. The earth was just vain. No form what? Of a man. A man of God. There was no one such person. So the world was just under chaos, madness, hopeless, vain activities. The earth was just crazy. That's why they call it darkness and confusion. Nobody knew. You couldn't trust no one in those days. Everybody was eating and slaying and cutting and murdering. Yeah. And he says, what? And it was no number one thing it was not there was what? There was no spirit there, was it? There's no spirit. See, he tells you either gonna worship flesh or what? Spirit. In these times, there was no what? There was no spirit. It's telling you right there was no spirit there. That world was crazy. Ruled by 100% the devil. Chaos. At this point, that's called what? Pandemonium. How do you know it's pandemonium going on at this time? Well, if we skip ahead, think of it like this. As we skip ahead in Genesis, we all know the story. He started creating things, right? And then he created man and woman, didn't he? In the garden, right? But who was already there? The devil. The devil was already what? There. So at this point, he had already what? Fallen. So the world was under what? The devil. How do you know? Because in ancient days, listen, in ancient days, I'm talking about BC. Everything on earth, everything, everyone, I'm talking about men with big caveman teeth and stuff like that, ooga boogas, bumping their heads. Only thing they worship in those days was who? The devil. They didn't know anything else. They didn't know anything else. Y'all seen Ice Age, haven't you? Did they have a spirit back then? No. Ooga booga. Well, you know, that's what cavemans be saying, or old Africans that were just kind of born in those times. They didn't have nothing. They used to draw in the sand, you know, wear animals, butt naked, some of them. They didn't even wear no clothes. It was just out there. Yeah, very loose. They call it slap back Africa. So whenever you wanted to communicate, you just had to slap the back of another African. And then they were like, ow! And then that's when they get the curve at like this, look. Like, ow! Yeah, and then they knew they was being summoned. So in those days, you know, like I said, age of extinction with the Transformers. Remember, they went back in time. They said it was the Transformers been there for a very, 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 very long time, right? They talking about back in them days when people didn't even know they was walking on the spears and stuff, right? And they just chasing saber-tooth tigers and stuff for meat, right? It was all ooga booga in those days, and so all they worship was the devil. That's when they said they had other civilizations back in those days, like the Mayans and stuff, right? They didn't believe in nothing but what? The devil. They call them Aztecs, warriors, and stuff like that, right? So in those days, it wasn't nothing going on. Nobody knew nothing about the spirit. That stuff was not given. Old Indians and stuff, they didn't know none of that stuff, did they? Knew nothing of God. They thought it was about rain. Remember I thought they were just worshiping all the elements, wasn't it? Some person worshiped the sun, the other one worshiped. Yeah, they didn't know anything about Yah. Right? So that's why he says, and then the spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the waters, in which I was referring to the face of the waters. If the waters lay flat, and you see this, and it's all black, and you see this one little light hovering over it, what does those black waters look like to that light? If I was black waters, I had to imagine it one day when I just closed my eyes and say, actually, when you close, matter of fact, close your eyes. That's called black water. There's nothing there. You open. You see, that's black water. Right. You see, that's black water. Meaning that we said the earth was just void without form. It was just black water. Until it saw what come across it? A light. When it saw that light, that's when that water like, I'm alive. I'm alive. Because it had no form. It didn't know anything until it saw that light. What did that light show? Even then, it showed righteousness, hope. And so the water that was without form was really nothing more but a mirror. Like your phones when you don't touch the screen, black water. Look in the mirror when the light's off in the restroom, black water. Until you cut what? And then you're able to see, right? Forms and figures. I always said, then you see the form. It was without form, now you see what? Form. Oh, I can see now what that is. I couldn't see at first. It began to take shape. Now everybody wants to be like what? Man. Go back to Isaiah 45. So I bet y'all didn't know that, huh? In the beginning, the world was just full of chaos and madness. No one had hope. Same way, How do you know? Because the same thing happened in the days of Noah in the first chapter of Genesis when it says what covered the whole face of the earth again? Those same dark what? Waters. Covered it back up, meaning start over time again. So that tell you how it was in the beginning. So that must mean it was already, when the Spirit came, the warfare had already been what? Flooded. The Spirit came, said, let's see what we can do with this mess. And they say, let there be what? Light. Let's see what we can do with this mess. Go back to Isaiah 45. Let's finish this one. So 18 says, he created it not in vain, the earth and heavens. He formed it to be what? Inhabited. By who? Righteous what? People. He said, I didn't make the earth to be full of what type of people? Vain. Hopeless, right? But he formed it. 19. I have not spoken in secret in a dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek ye me in what? Vain. See, he said, I didn't even teach Jacob to seek me, and meaning for some of us, we would say, oh, it's pointless to serve. Yeah, it's pointless. Get money. It's pointless. He said, I didn't never tell y'all that, did I? That it would be pointless. It's hopeless to serve me. So is it hopeless to serve y'all? Because in y'all you have what? Salvation. That's what he's telling you. I wouldn't tell you to do something if it was pointless. But beware of those who try to teach that, though. Right? Beware of those who try to teach pointlessness. He said, I said not unto Jacob, seed of Jacob, seek ye me in vain. I, the Lord, speak what? Righteousness. See, I declare things that are right. Assemble yourselves and come, draw near together, ye that are escaped of the nations. See, they have no knowledge. See, the other nations have no what? That's why he called them void in the beginning. They don't have this knowledge. Only in Jacob has this knowledge been set and sealed. That they have no knowledge that set up wood of their graven images and pray unto a God that cannot what? Save. Praying to a God that cannot what? Save. 21. Tell ye and bring them near. Yeah, let them take counsel together. Who has declared this from ancient times? Who has told it from that time? Meaning, who declared this? That this was going to be salvation? Who? Right? Have not I the Lord, and there's no God what? Besides me. A just Yah and a Savior. There is none besides me. He's telling you again, there is no other Savior. Listen. So look unto me and be ye what? Saved. All the ends of the earth. Ends. Ends means purpose. Listen, all the ends of the earth, meaning all those that are purpose. Remember, he said to those who have an ear, what? Let them hear. See, these are the purpose ones. To the ends of the earth, for I am the Yah, and there is none else. Meaning to them that have an ear, let them what? Hear and understand. To the ends of the earth, meaning to those who have purpose. 23. I have sworn by myself. Yeah, see, the word is gone out of my mouth. In righteousness. This is that part where y'all always want to tell me my word goes out and doesn't come back void. This is what went out of his mouth. Listen. I have sworn, 23, read it again. I have sworn by myself, the word is gone out of my mouth in what? Righteous, and shall not return. See, that unto me every knee shall bow and every tongue shall what? Swear. And see, that's where these terms came from. But why did they never mention the word righteousness in it? You see how that word was just omitted out of it? You heard these two phrases. The word comes out and it doesn't come back what? void. You always heard that one, didn't you? And then number 2, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall what? Confessing. But now you get the chance to see what they were supposed to have been confessing. See, that's how the devil is tricky. The devil will tell you things in part, but doesn't give you what? The whole story, does it? You see? Because the whole time, that big word means a whole lot. It completes the sentence. That what he says, my word goes out and doesn't come back void. Now, how do you know that? If I tell you my word goes out and don't come back void, then I must tell you, what did you say? Right? Think about it. If I tell you my word goes out and it don't come back void, then a person gonna be like, oh yeah, you right, I scratched my head, then come back, but okay, I know it don't come back void, but I do need to know what it is. Right? You said something, but what don't come back void? And you say, well, my word. Okay, now your word don't come back void. Okay, have you said something yet? Right? That's your question. Number 2. And it says, and that unto me every knee shall bow and every tongue shall what? Confess. Did you not? What is they going to confess? That's the whole point. What was they supposed to confess? Every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Then they left it what? Open-ended. To any what? Interpretation. They never said what you were supposed to be confessing. Fill in the blank. Because that means, oh, I'm glad you said that. Fill in the blank. Now, what is blank? Huh? What is blank then? On everything where they leave it blank. Huh? That's the hopeless void. Exactly. They left it blank on purpose. Because that's something you got to figure out. We ain't going to tell it. Well, see, the devil never tells you what? Everything. See, the blankness that's the blank expression you get. When you look at it, like, what does that mean? The word goes out and doesn't come back void. What word? Fill in the blank. Okay, every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. What? We supposed to be confessing. Fill in the blank. See, that's the devil. Devil always leaves everything what? Open-ended. Void. Leaves everything what? Void. That's how you know it's the devil. The end result of the devil is what? Void. He never finishes. But with Yah, you finally got the finish and end of that sentence, and that was satisfied it. Now those 2 phrases just got satisfied with me. Because I know now why they said what they said. When they says, my word goes out. But when it says, my word in what? Righteousness shall not come back what? Now you get it. I needed to hear that word what? Righteousness in there, right? I needed to hear that word righteousness. Then I understood. Oh, so that is what's not going to come back void. We all had to participate in what? Righteousness. And that was not what's going to come back what? Void. Listen. And every knee shall bow and every tongue shall promise what? And swear in what? And confess in what? Righteousness. Okay. From me to you, what you got to do? Righteousness. See, that's the confession. I've seen it all, I heard it all, but I do know that righteousness is what you're going to have to do. See, that's what it means. Now you finishing the sentence when you say every knee shall bow, right? And every tongue shall what? Confess righteousness. Meaning go tell a friend, hey, you got to do righteousness. That's the confession, right? And that is what you bow into. See, when you get baptized, you have to bow to what? You're being baptized in the name of what? Righteousness. See, that's the whole point. You bowing to it. You said, I'm giving my life over to now. Righteousness is my Lord and what? Exactly. This is what's going to save me now. Not nothing else I got going on now. This is what I'm being baptized in now. At first you had me baptized in just things I didn't understand. I'm being baptized in this name. The name of what? In the name of what? That's what it meant. You needed to know that it was righteousness fills in those blanks. Righteousness fills in the void. You ever had a void in your life? You know what it is now? Righteousness. Righteousness is the what? It fills the what?
Void.
The void in your life. If you ever got a void in your life, I'm telling you now, this is what you hunger for. This is what you thirst for. It's righteousness. You saying, I got a purpose. I know I need to be doing something. That's my hunger. What am I supposed to be doing? That's why he said, those who hunger and thirst in righteousness shall be filled. It is that. That's what you needed to hear. You don't need nobody to tell you just confess and bow to what? What am I bowing to? I don't know. But give me a what? Purpose. Give me a what? A purpose. That I can what? Bow to. Give me a purpose that I can bow to. That's why Abraham bowed to who? Melchizedek. He wasn't bowing to the other kings because they was just talking what? Reckless, wasn't they? But when he met Melchizedek, he knew right then and there, that's somebody I can what? Because he come in the name of what? Righteousness. He knew right then and there, now that's something I have what? Purpose. Me and my family got circumcised because we all have what now? Purpose. Purpose trumps vanity. To have a purpose is you're not going to live if you ain't got no what? Purpose. This is the purpose that gets a person up, even though they get shot, they're going to get back up because they know they have what? Purpose. Ain't that why they get back up? Huh? Ain't that why they get back up? I ain't dying what? Today. Because I have what? A purpose in what day? Tomorrow.
I remember the story. Yeah, I was sure.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the boat, sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And they were so crazy. When he got up, he just stank and he just yeah.
Yeah, because he knew that day he wasn't finna what? But the people thought, we finna what? They was scared. They thought we finna die today. And he had to let them know. He said, oh, ye of little faith. Do you really think God brought us all the way to this purpose just for us to just die in what? That's when I knew when I was in all that water recently. It was rocking. Ship was going crazy. We at the bottom of the boat. But we knew that we ain't dying what? Today. Y'all didn't bring us all the way here to just let us die in what? In vain. For no purpose. Just give us to the water. Let the water just suck us up. No. Y'all calm those waters. Spirit rested upon it. We made it there and what? Back. To continue what? This purpose. See, that's the thing. Without a purpose, then your life is in what? It's vain. No point. So 24 says, so surely then one shall say, see, in the Lord have our righteousness and strength. See, I have found my what? Purpose. Surely in the Lord I have righteousness and strength. Even to him shall men come. See, even to this person shall other men what? Come to and say, man. And all that are incensed against him shall be what? Ashamed. See, they're going to be put to a what? An end. But this one who has purpose will continue what? Continue on. And the purpose is what? Righteousness. And the Lord shall all the seed of Israel be justified and shall glory. Justified means to be saved. When you justify, that means you was about to go to jail, but you got what? Not what? Not guilty. Found what? Innocent. Set them what? Charge dismissed. Set them what? Free. Let them what? Continue. When you ain't in jail, you're able to what? Continue.
Continue.
Yep. Got free till So he could continue. Jonah out of the belly of the beast. All right. So this is the purpose. Now go to Isaiah 47, just a couple of chapters over. So one gets to go free and carry on and continue on, right? In the purpose in which was given, right? But now let's see the opposite effect. Because now you have those that are in vain. Now what you think the point and purpose is for them then?
Damnation.
So it says now, come down, first of all. Come 47, Isaiah 47. It says, come down. So that must mean they thought they were going to sit pretty what? Pretty high. So come down and sit in the dust. Sit in the dust. That means to perish. When you sit in the dust, who sits in the dust? Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Who sits in the dust?
Who sits in the dust? Dead people. In their graves. Sit in the dust. Lay there. O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. See, there is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So take this millstone. Remember what you know the millstone means, right? Tied around your neck, yes. And the grind mill, uncover your locks, make bare your legs, uncover the thigh. Y'all probably say, oh, what are you talking about, a lady? Yes. But what is he doing? He's stripping her of her children. So he said, make bare her leg, because that's where the babies come out from. But he says, make bare. Bare means barren. Mm-hmm. Make sure she doesn't have any more what? Children. Uncover her thigh. Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be what? Uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet you as a man. Why think he said that? Because they have already ascribed y'all to look like a what? A man. Or a beast, or a critter. See, they call these gods, right? Mm-hmm. He said, but I ain't gonna come in those forms. See, that's the thing. I ain't coming in the form of your idols when I do come. That we said, I won't come to you as a man. See, when you call it, see, that's what they say. Some people think that God is white. Look like a what? A man, a white man. He said, but I'm not coming to you like that. Sorry. That ain't gonna be the image. If you thought that's the image, that ain't gonna be the what? That ain't gonna be the image that's coming. That white, you know how they had that white man, Bruce Almighty, called himself God that sat on the throne. It was a white man sitting on the throne with a big old white beard like Santa Claus. He said, I'm not coming looking like that. I ain't coming to you as a man. Because God is not a what? Yeah. I told you he's a heavenly parent. Male and what? Because we know the heavenly parent is all in all. They control what? Everything. So it ain't just no one side. That's why he's trying to give them to understand. I'm not coming to you like a man. You gonna call me, I look like I'm white, wrinkled up body. No. Ancient. No. Old man looking. None of those things. All those images you made of me, he's telling you that they not coming in those what? In those forms. Exactly. See, for as for our Redeemer, Yahuwah of hosts is his name. The Holy One of who? Israel. See, that's who they fenced to meet. The Holy One of who? Israel. So sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called the lady of what? Kingdoms, because she's the one who seated all the other nations. See, I was wrought with my people. I have polluted my inheritance. I have given them into your hands. See, I've given them into your what? hand represents what? Righteousness, right? So I fed my people to your people to give them into your what? Righteousness. See, I allowed you to tell my people that your God was who? Was God. I've given my people into your hand, your righteousness. Because that's what you told them, get money. See, I fed my people into that. Therefore this, thou didst show them what? No mercy though. See, that's the thing. See, y'all talking about all these gods, but one thing none of your gods could do for Israel was what? Give them what? Mercy. It never did. See, their money didn't buy them what? Mercy. Because I'm still going to destroy all that. And them included. That's who with it. That's what he's telling them. I allowed you to give them gods to see if they was going to be dumb enough to what? To fall forth and take them. Exactly. Right? And then I wanted them to realize that what? What's the chastisement? To be beautifully what? Broken. I wanted them to see that none of those gods y'all gave them was going to ever what? Save them. And I needed for them to understand that that stuff was vain and what? Hopeless. I needed my people to see this. So I gave them over to you to lie to them, tell them. That's the only reason why I got them under you right now. So you can feed them all your lies, and I'm going to see which one of mine's going to heed to your voice or mine's. Why are they in your what? Captivity. Because we know the devil has only but a what? Short time. Period. But my people going to what? Live what? Forever. See, they're going to come right out of that. See, they come out of that door. But everyone else gets trapped in that door. In that period. Now you realize that period of what? Time. They ain't going to escape it. But those who know my voice, they're going to follow me as a true shepherd. But they're going to be in your captivity so they can ride in the belly of the beast so you can tell them all your good lies about gods of money, gods of Egypt, gods of Thor, gods of Asgard, so you can just fill them full of that stuff. But I'm going to see which one of mine are mine. Because my people hear my what? My voice. And the voice of a stranger, what? They ain't going to follow that. That's how I'm going to know. So I give them over to you just for the time being. That way I can know who's mine and who what? Who's not. Because those who follow you, obviously what? Ain't mine. Because mine can't be swayed. I would say it's impossible to trap an elect in your conversation. I don't care how you can talk yourself blue in the face. That conversion ain't never going to happen. They might even shrug their head and say, yeah. They might even look at you and say, I hear you. But the whole time, right, is the elect going to fall for it? Nah, not at all. They ain't falling for the conversion to follow me. Bull crap. Do as I do is bull crap. They not. Right. He says, so therefore, I've given them into your hand. Y'all didn't show them no mercy. Upon an ancient hast thou very heavily laid your yoke. See, you have put your spells on heavily. Yoke is spells, we know that. And thou saidest that I shall be, this is what you said to yourself, I shall be a lady forever. See, lady is married. She's saying that I have a husband and I'm always have kids. See, this is the spirit of this lady. She's speaking, saying that I will always have somebody that's going to desire my fruit. See, this is that Jezebel speaking. So I'm always going to have somebody that's going to hear my spirit, who's going to take upon me, that's going to have my desires in their minds. I'm going to always have children. That's what she said, this spirit said. I'm going to always have somebody who want to be rich. I'm going to always have somebody who want to be famous. I'm going to always have somebody. See, that's what she's saying. Already in my mind, she knows her spirit going to what? Go on. To the ends of the what? To the world. That's what she believes. Ain't nobody gonna never cast me away. They're gonna always love my spirit. Get money. They're gonna see Israel gonna always love my spirit. But it's gonna come a time That the righteous, what? Voice of a stranger, what? They ain't going for it. And just like they said about Jezebel in those days, when they did come approach her, said, throw her out that window. They said, like she said, she thought she was going to what? Be in that kingdom what? Forever, didn't she? She thought that day was never going to come, that her own people was going to what? Turn on her. They was like, I'm going to always be over these people. These people love them some me. They love them some me. I always got people who love what I teach. They love my delicacies. I give them shrimp and crabs and lobsters and oysters, and they just love look at them suck them up. They love it. They love these teachings. Right? But there'll come a time when Israel gonna be like, I can't do nothing with that. I can't do nothing with it. It's already getting to that point, right? That what money gonna be in a little bit? How much is gonna be worth in a little bit? You're gonna realize what he's saying. So some people gonna come to the understanding, you know what? It ain't really nothing here that you can really offer me. I don't see nothing that I can take your. But she think though, it's always gonna be somebody that's gonna want what I got, what I'm saying. My Girl Scout cookies. Somebody want. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. That's what she said. What I'm selling, they want it. That's what she said. And she said, I will teach you, but I have to what? Charge. Yeah, exactly. She said, I sit a lady forever. 7. But so that thou didst not, she telling us, so the Spirit telling her, but you did not lay these things to your heart. Neither did you remember the latter end of it. So he's telling her that she doesn't even see her ending coming. He said she didn't consider the latter end of it. She didn't consider her period. Her period. How do you know? Let me give you a little secret. That's why women have periods. They have what you call cycles. A cycle of freshness that ends in a period of what? Dirtiness. It has to be what? Cleansed to go back into the freshness again. But it always keeps ending in a bloody ending, doesn't it? But it rises again in a fresh beginning, doesn't it? So that's what it says. She didn't consider her latter ending, her period, did she? She didn't consider it was going to end what? Bloody and dirty for her. And shame, shame, shame. She thought her days was going to be forever. She was going to always have people who want what she said. She did not know. Her period of ending was going to come to the point at first everybody going to thought, oh, I'm fresh and clean. But then they're going to realize when they look again how dirty and what? Filthy it is to have it. That's what it was saying. This ain't riches, this is filth. This ain't blessings, this is blood. Dirty blood. Why do they call it dirty blood? Because of this. First of all, in the actual body, we all have blood, don't we? But the blood that is in each one of us lives, doesn't it? It's called the living blood, right? And when it drains out, we know that you're about to be what? Dead, right? But according to a woman, on her menstrual cycle, when she actually has that blood, she has to get rid of that blood because that blood has been recycled into what? And has created a pool of contaminated blood. Now, all of this blood that's in her stream at that point is dead blood, meaning blood that cannot give what? No life. So that blood, in order for her to be able to go on healthily, she has to drain herself of all of that dead blood to be renewed and refreshed. So that old dead blood has to be what? Removed. It has to pass through. It has to be removed out of her. She cannot hold on to it because it will even hurt and kill her to hold on to try to mix dead blood with what? Living blood. So all the living blood goes to a cycle period that it flushes or launders out all the bad blood or dead. That's why they call it dirty. Dirty means to be dead. Hopeless blood, right? She cannot contain it in the body of a living person. Cannot hold on to dead blood, right? So that's why she goes through that period. And that's why they call it what? A period. Because it's for a short what? Time. Exactly. All right? Just a little small class on that. All right? So, 8. So therefore here now there's that are given to what? Pleasures. See? The milkshake. That dwelleth carelessly, because she thinks that I ain't got to worry in the world. This is going to always be the thing, right? People going to always want it, so why should I care? You know, it's a thing. Everyone likes it. Everybody participates in it. All Israel wants to be rich, so worry for not what? Worry for what? That my day finna come to an end. That's why she says she carelessly parades herself around. She goes on TV. She has the eyelashes. She has the glit, the glam, all of it. She said the nails long, curvy. You know, that's just me. They love it. They love it. They love it. It sells. Everyone wants to be like this, right? But then it's careless for her, because she said, "Protect myself from what?" That's why she barely wears any clothes, carelessly, right? She doesn't care, because she feel like they're gonna always. This is appealing. No, everyone likes it. It sells. Who dare say, put on some clothes? Who gonna dare say, that's nasty? Who? Right? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, of course. But she's talking about as an overall. Israel what? Loves it. When they see it on TV, prancing around, they go, oh, Lord, look. You know, I mean, you got shows like that all that, you know, Bad Girls Club. I mean, it's just, and everyone just looks, and they all, the thing about them, what makes them is because they careless, aren't they? In all their activities. Careless. That's what it means right here. They just carelessly do their things. They don't regard nothing. They don't live by no rules. They do what they want, and Israel is staying tuned. So she says, why? Ain't nobody never gonna turn me off. They love it. They eat it up. It sells. Right? That's what it means. She dwells in this. And she says in her heart, I am. And she also says, and ain't none else besides me. She says it too. I shall sit not as a widow, neither shall I ever know the loss of what? Children. See, these people gonna always love my little spirit. Israel gonna always love it. Careless also means selfish. I can care what? Careless, see? I can care less. But these two things shall come unto her in a moment and in one day. What? 9 says the loss of children and widowhood. You see that? In one day. One day. The day they talking about is the righteous day. Yeah. Because while she teaches people to take it all off, the Spirit teaches everybody what? To put on. 2 different spirits. Yeah. And look, she says, and they shall come upon you in their what? Perfection. See, in their season. What's going to come upon them? For the multitude of your sorcery. See, this is what is going to convince or condemn her on. Sorcery. Because you putting a what on my people? Spell. A spell on them. That's why they love it. Oh, look at it. Right? And the great abundance of your what? Enchantments. Did y'all know some of those dances and stuff be very what they call enchantments? Enchantments is also sayings too. You know, songs that everyone sings over and over again, that's called an enchantment. To say it over and over and over again. Who? Mike Jones. Who? Yeah. For thou hast trusted in your wickedness, and thou hast said, none seeth me. 10. See, nobody see me. Nobody see what I got going on. Thy wisdom and your knowledge, it has what? Perverted you, and has said in your heart, I am and none besides me. So that wisdom and knowledge is going to be what? Destroyed. Listen. Therefore shall evil come upon you, and thou shalt not know from where it rises. And mischief shall fall upon you, and you shall not be able to what? Put it off. And desolation shall come upon you suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now then, since you think you got it. And you think they're always going to be down for it. Did you know stand now, 12 says, stand in your enchantments then. Your little songs that you got. And with the multitude of your spells, where you has labored from your youth, if so be, they shall be able to profit you. If so be, you may be able to prevail. Now, what day they talking about that she needed to be able to prevail, to stand in? The congregation. Because when they come upon her, you think they're going to care about what she got on or don't got on? Is it going to matter? You know how they say sometime on the freeway when they tell me, girl, you want somebody to stop, you better show a little leg or something? That's what he said. On those days, showing leg or not, what? It's not going to save you. It's not going to what? It's not going to save you. He said, if you think all that's going to save you, put your enchantments, put on your songs, play your baddie song, your best baddie song, and put on your best performance like Jezebel tried to do actually that day. When she knew he was coming, she said she tried to run up. That's what happened. She ran up into her room and tried to put on what? Makeup. Yeah. And then that's when he got to the gate and told the servant, throw out. So that was her enchantment. That was her sorcery. That was her spell because she thought the makeup was gone. He wasn't going to see through the what?
All of it.
Yeah. But he was not fooled. That's what I mean. When they come that day, none of those things, all the sorcery in the world, all the magic tricks, none of that stuff is going to work. Because they come for one thing and one thing only. They come for righteousness. And anything that is against righteousness, meaning any other trick, is just what it is, a trick. That they ain't what? Falling for. Right? So he says, stand now. In 12:13, see, thou hast wearied in the multitude of your counsels. So let not the astrology, see, there go your zodiacs, your stargazers, your monthly protagonists stand up and save you from these things that shall come upon you. That's what he said. All that stuff you got going on, your witchcraft, your zodiac signs, your rubbing your magic balls, let all that stuff in those days save you. Oh, can it? He's telling you it won't. Behold, you shall be as stubble, and the fire shall burn you and them, and they shall not be able to deliver yourself from the power of the flame. Therefore shall not be a coal to warm at. There shall be no other light that you can even go to, even warm at, to try to say, please help me. Nor fire to sit or stand by. Thus shall it be unto thee for whom thou hast labored, even your merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarters, and none shall save you. That's for her. So that's what he's telling you, that this is those who try to say, I am, and there's none beside me too. Yeah, thinking they got their own teachings and things that's going to survive. So those have to be careful of those spirits, right? Spirits of what? Foolishness, vain. See, that's a vain what? Spirit. It's a very vain spirit. That one loves to play dress up. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 5, 1 through 8. It's going to be in the lost books. Mm-hmm.
The Wisdom of Solomon.
Wisdom of Solomon is 5, verses 1 through 8. Now, for those who think, well, righteousness ain't going to be what it is, you know, yeah, they're going to have righteousness, and we're going to treat righteousness like a food. We're going to try to make it seem like being righteous ain't going to profit you nothing out here anyway, so why y'all even trying to participate in that stuff, right? And she thinks, too, like she said, she's going to put so much lies and sorcery and so much enchantments out there that so many spells that they ain't going to be able to wake up. Ain't no way no righteous is going to make it anyway, because we're going to have them so snowed. We're going to have all the elect so gone. That ain't nobody gonna really wake up anyway. That's what they assume, right? They assume that, man, it ain't gonna happen. That's why people are so confident in their things. You know, some of them be so confident in the stuff that they already have going on, they think that ain't no way, ain't nothing gonna stop what I got going on. Nobody gonna see it. Meaning nobody will be able to interpret it, see it, meaning no one will be able to gain the knowledge of what I'm doing. See it. You know what I mean? Because seeing is not just of sight. Seeing means to be able to not just see you, but to see through you. See, they don't be understanding what he says when I give the sight back to the blind, what that really means. They just assume he can let them see, you know, oh wow, that's a clock. Oh, that's a light right there. Nah. It's actually the spirit of light is the spirit of clarity. I try to explain to you guys. You know, it's the spirit of being able to see past, present, and future things. It's not being there, it's being able to see everything that stands in front of you and even what stands through it and behind it. Like X-ray vision. I don't need to just see you, I need to see what's behind you, what's behind the mask, what's behind the makeup, what's going on, what is your inner thoughts. Some people say, well, that's impossible. But through the spirit, all things are detected. All things. It sees through the glitter, the glit, the smiles, the frowns. It sees through it all. Even the, I'm just playing. It sees through it. It can't just be shut off because somebody said, well, just turn that off for a moment. It's always on. Right? It's what he said, who lights a candle and then what? What is the candle for? For sight. Who lights a candle and then cover it up and put it out and say, now you don't need it. But once it's lit, as any flame, once you light a candle, it's going to burn all the way what? Through. It's going to burn all the way through. And you ever notice, how do you know that the flame burns it all the way through? I would tell you, but don't ever try this at home. I'm going to show you how bright the light is so that you can always understand how bright the light really is of this candle. Stick just the tip of your finger close to it. Don't try this at home, I'm just saying. Just imagine for a second. And if you stick your finger as close as possible to that flame, what will that flame begin to do to your flesh? Not only will it burn, but won't it melt you away that it may get down to the bottom of what's inside of you? Because it burns the flesh or back, then it begins to burn what? The vessels and veins back, and then it's still penetrating even more, isn't it? And now it's getting to the bone of you, and then now it's getting even through the bone of you, right? To the point where what's left? Ashes to ashes, what? Dust to dust. Now ain't nothing there for it to see. It see through you. That's how bright that light is. It will see what? Through you. even if it melt you away in the process. That's how bright the light is. And that light can't be put out. You can try to get on top of the light to cover it up, but the light ain't gonna do nothing but just melt you what? Right off of it. And it's still gonna see what? Through you. That's what he was really referring to. That's how bright the light is, or how hot it is. If you kind of understand what I'm saying. The passion of it in itself, the heat of it is going to get through you. Because it knows what it's there for. And the purpose of the spirit, that way he said the spirit is not bound. Meaning can't nobody tame it, can't nobody bind it. It'll just melt what? Right through you. And that fire just gonna keep going and blazing until it gets to what it's really what? After. And then and only then will its purpose be what? Fulfilled. Then that's when the fire can what? Go out. But if it ain't reached that point yet, that's what purpose is. It's like the fire. It doesn't go out until it reaches what? Its purpose. So ain't nothing you can throw ahead of time. That's why I said when you begin to understand what faith is, you will begin to say to these mountains, get ye what? Out of my way. Because you're just going to really kind of burn right through it. Your purpose is going to be stronger than their vanity. That's what it's telling you. They want things in vain, meaning they ain't got no purpose. Pointless, hopeless. But that fire that's in you, that purpose that is in you is going to drive you right through them. And if they ain't got no purpose, and if what they want for you is vain, then their purpose, your purpose trumps their vainness. This is true. That's why it says, you can lead me not into what? Temptation, but what? Deliver me from evil. So now you know how you want to get delivered? Man, let me explain something to you. When you want out of something, guess what? You'll get out of something. When you want what? You'll get out of something. Because that fire at that point, it burns brighter than the person trying to hold you captive. And that fire melts them to the point they say, just go. Just go. I can't afford for you to burn nothing else down. Just go. You're going to see what I'm talking about one day. You're going to see how that fire burns so hard that when a person trying to hold you captive can't, they're going to realize it's just burning them to keep you. Because of that purpose that's in you is stronger than they will for you. It's kind of like being in your parents' house, right? And then when you get so ready to go, guess what? Ain't nothing they can do to what? Exactly. That's why they give you over to your husbands and to your wives to get married, right? Because they know at that point what's leading you with them, that's that fire and desire, ain't it? Right? Parents can't hold you from that, can they? Not when that candle get lit. That candle of love get lit. Oh, baby, no. Ain't nothing gonna hold you back. Ain't nothing gonna hold you back. It can't. They begin to melt away when you want something badly, don't you? Right? It's a true saying. We don't know how strong it is until we actually there. Until that light gets turned on. Or that fire get lit. And then ain't nothing can stand in the way. Right? Look, we all witnessed it before. When you want out, you want out. It's almost like a mother about getting ready to have a baby, right? When that baby want out, can that parent say, no, another day? Give me another day. No, not at all. The burning sensation to get that bowhead. Man, get this baby what? Out of me. Take it. Ah. that baby ready to come out. Ain't nothing gonna hold it. It come time to come early too. But they be that's because that's a desire. I used to think sometimes when a baby born prematurely that it was a bad thing. No, that's actually because they just how badly they want what? They want to get out. They ready. You might think now another month or so. Baby say, I'm ready today. I'm ready. I want to see the world. I'm on out. Now, I ain't seen a parent in the world that can resist and say, no, you gonna stay in there. You gonna give me this month. I ain't seen one in the world that could do it. Mm-hmm. No, at that point, the baby trumps the parent, don't it? That baby, yeah, you see, and a little bit of thing come out too, and she looking like, whoa, this little bit of thing causing all this havoc inside of me. And I thought I was the stronger. But come to find out at that moment, who the stronger? Exactly. So like I told you, you know when you're ready to get out of something. Ain't nothing can hold you back at that point. Same way your captivity. It's the same thing. When you really ready to get up out of this, y'all gonna come together so strong they ain't gonna be able to hold y'all back. But that's why a lot of times they keep y'all in the spells that they keep you in. But it's gonna be up to you when y'all really ready. That's when y'all gonna get out of it. Cause can't nothing hold nobody back that want to get out. That's just the truth. So listen, let's read this one. Wisdom of Solomon 5. We there? Yep. Everyone there? Yeah. All right. Look at this here. See, everybody thought the righteous one gonna be nothing. But look here. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. Huh? Did you hear me? It says then. So there's a point of time when the righteous man will get up and stand boldly before all of those who had afflicted or kept it in what? Captivity. Listen. Because this isn't a future what? Event. And I don't want it to come upon you as a thief in the what? As a thief in the night. I want you to be well aware of what they speak concerning the righteous. It says, in that day shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. Great boldness means without what? Without fear. Before the face of such as have afflicted him. Listen. And made no account of his labors. So this is the slave standing up to the slave master. Y'all not reading it. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. And when they who have afflicted him see it, they shall all be troubled with terrible fear. Because they never thought what? He wasn't going to stand up for himself. They thought that we're going to whip him, we're going to beat him, and we're going to have our fun. And then one day, now you can probably wonder why and when. I'm going to tell you the why and the when. We know it's going to be because of a certain spirit at a certain time that's going to inhabit this person. And we know in that day, this person going to have great what? boldness, lacking not an ounce of what? Fear. So immediately, the one slave owners looked at each other and looked at that one and said, surely we in trouble. Because we are trying to scam, but with great boldness did he stare down his masters in the what? In their face. And wasn't what no more? Wasn't no longer afraid. That's going to be a terrible sight for a lot of slave masters. I'm telling you that. Because they made no account of his labors, meaning they never probably rewarded that person for what they had already done in the labors, right? And they never accounted what the end was going to be for the righteous compared for the vain, did they? They never considered that a day like this was ever on the calendar. They never do. They never do. They don't consider that on that like a lady, right? She said, I'll never be without time. This spirit gonna be what? Forever. But that's why he said world without end, what? Period. See, this is after the period. Now, when that period of time comes, then all of a sudden a new period emerges where certain people that used to be down begin to what? Get up. And those that was up begin to what? Come down. And when they see it, they shall be troubled with terror and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. The strangeness. Why is it strange to them? Because their eyes have what?
Only seen the captain.
Their eyes have not seen, nor have their ears heard that there was ever such a day marked on the calendar of this coming about. So they didn't prepare for this. I mean, they getting guns and stuff now, but no. See, in those days, the strangeness meaning no one never taught us. No one never taught us what? Righteousness. Because if we would have known, we would have known this. That righteous does have a day. How they say every dog has his what? See, this is what they didn't know. It was not told to them that righteousness does have a day. They didn't think so. They assume now money has its day. Dogs have their day. Cats have their day. But no one never told us that who has their day? That the righteous will have their day. Like a purge, right? They say righteous one day will have their day, their moment. What you gonna do in that day? Because you didn't think righteousness was even a thing, did you? Now righteousness is a thing. No one ever taught. They told me get money. See, that's what he said. So they were so amazed at the strangeness of it all. Like, first of all, who taught them that? 2, where is this spirit coming from? Because we ain't never known no such spirit. We was taught Jesus. We was taught love, obey your masters. Right? We was taught turn the other cheek. Right? What teaching is this? Because we ain't even know that no such teaching existed. That a slave could stand up to they what? So that was going to catch them off guard off top. Because they didn't even assume that these things were going to ever be possible. Ain't no way. These niggas going to rise. Ain't no way. The poor will not rise. There's no way. No way. Ain't no way they're coming out of captivity. Just no way. So the strangeness is that it was never heard of. They thought they had all the exits and the doors, and all windows. They thought they had everything, locked down, sealed down. And there ain't no way this is going to possibly happen. But all things are possible with who? With Yah. That's what they didn't expect. This person has Yah, and they don't know it because they ain't never met Yah. You see, so the strangeness of how he finna to be saved is what they finna be tripping about. Because how you think this righteous man about to be saved? We know it's going to be through Yah. See, the strangeness is how everything we have used on this person ain't what? It's no longer what? Working. That's what's going to be strange. The handcuffs ain't working. The bullets ain't what? The guns ain't what? That's what they said gonna be strange. His salvation, meaning how he finna walk out of that day, is gonna be very strange and unheard of. The bars and the chains ain't what? It ain't working. The guards ain't what? The Doberman pictures ain't what? The cameras ain't what? He just keeps coming. Listen. Say what he says. And the salvation was so far beyond all that they looked at for. See, they thought they had imagined what? Everything. They thought we thought we had all the safeguards. We had everything up. It's like being in a maximum security prison, right? As a guard. Think about it. As a guard, you in a maximum security prison nobody ain't never broke out of their entire life. The entire span, if you ever been there, and I heard that it was impossible. That's what they taught you. It was impossible for anybody to break out of this. Mm-hmm. And as you a prison guard and you just sipping on your juice box one day up and down. And then all of a sudden you hear, and then you look around, and then you realize that everyone in that maximum security prison just got out. That's what it meant. All that you had imagined and thought that you secured everything, you come to find out. They free. Now what you think, oh God, oh security guard in that day, what's going to happen? And it's obvious to you because you probably still going to have on the uniform anyway when they all come out. And remember, they're going to be looking for certain types of outfits when they come out of there. And I'm pretty sure you might not want to have on one of those outfits. When they come out, still sipping your juice box. When all the doors just swing open. And you looking like, they coming. And you're going to read through the manual what I'm supposed to do. What is the procedure, right?
No handbook.
Right, ain't no handbook for that. Ain't no handbook for that. Because they didn't assume that that was going to actually ever happen. That's what he was saying right now. 3. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit. Anguish meaning then their spirit, who used to have the confidence, began to what? They began to lose their what? Confidence. Listen. And then their spirit became a what type of spirit? Hopeless. Because they knew now they had hope. Then that's when it dawns on them that their hope was in the bars. We began to get confidence when we tell the prison mate, shut up. You can't do nothing. These bars got you. And so your trust began to be in the bar, don't it? But as long as that bar there, you like, hey, he pretty big. But as long as that bar there. Right? Right? But then, so that became your hope your confidence level began to what? Boost because of the what? They ain't never getting past that gate. So confidence is soaring, right? You get the littlest one come out of 2 feet tall, jumping in somebody's face. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Because he got the bar right there, right? And so they walk to the back now. So their confidence is soaring high because they know the bar is there, right? But it says now they get anguish of spirit because now the bar is no longer what? There. Now, at that point, where will your hope reside? See, the inmate always knew, or the prisoner always knew that their hope was not in the bar, right? Their hope was where? In Yah. But the prison guards knew that their hope wasn't in Yah. Their hope was in what? The bars. Right? But once the bars is taken away, where should they find hope then? They didn't think of that. Listen. And they repented and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, listen, this was he whom we had sometime in what? Derisions and a proverb of reproach. What does derision mean? Listen, what does derision mean? We had them in what? Confusion of mind. See, that's how they got to people now. In what? Derision is the confusion of what? Mind. So he said, how is it not this one whom we had sometime in derision and a proverb? We fools accounted his life for what? For, says what? We fools accounted his life madness. And his end to be without what? Honor. So we thought he was going to die in what? Shame, right? We like, I ain't going to never get free. But listen, 5 says, but how is he numbered among the children of Yah? And his lot is amongst the saints. He's a what? The righteous is going to be found what? Let me read it again. He says, when we see this righteous man stand with boldness in his face, listen, we fools accounted his life as madness. We had already given his life over to what? To vanness. And his end to be without honor. But how now we come to find out this day that he is numbered amongst the children of Yah. His lot is amongst the elect. So that righteous man was a what? He says, how did we come to find out at this moment that this one was a what? It was an elect. Therefore we have erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness has not shined unto us. See? And the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. See, we didn't have that what? That light. We did not know his what? Light of righteousness. Guess what? Let me explain something to you. They did not know his purpose. That was what they was actually saying. They thought he was going to die a what? A shame or a fool. They did not anticipate that he was a what? He was an elect. They didn't anticipate he was an elect until he stood before them with the boldness of his face. And then they realized he was a what? An elect. They thought they had him scared. They thought they had him shook up. And they come to find out he was only doing what? Waiting for what? Waiting for that day. See, y'all don't understand these great things. They assumed that righteousness was nothing until he stood up in the day with his boldness in his face, staring his enemies in their face, and they realizing that their time had come to a what? An end. And what was so strange about his deliverance was how Yah was going to bring him out of it. The same way Yah brings him out, it's going to be the same way they go in. Y'all ain't lit. Let me break it to you. Go to Psalms 58. Like I say, they did not know that he was an elect until the day he stood before them, ready to take them down. Then that's when they knew. Listen, Psalms 58 then. Mm-hmm. Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O you sons of men? Yea, in heart you work wickedness. You weigh the violence of your hand in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. Listen, as soon as they go born, they go out speaking lies. Why? Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the death adder that stoppeth at her ear. You hear me? They don't hear nothing. You're talking right through them. They don't even hear it. They don't see it. Because he said their ears are stopped up just like a snake. They can't hear nothing. They can't interpret nothing. They don't see it when it's right in front of their face, and they definitely can't hear it right when you're speaking right to their ear. You know what? You ever want to know what closes the eyes of our people when we read in the Bible? You ever wanted to know that?
Yeah.
You want to know? And you want to know why your eyes is wide awake right now? It's because you know I'm talking to you. And for those that go to sleep, for those who can't hear it, it was for them to miss. So when these moments will come back, they won't be ready for them. See, but those that know the truth, that's why they say they wide awake. That's why he say for some, he say he give them eyes to fall asleep, ears that is stopped up, that they can't hear. He said at least they were here, and they could have been healed a long time ago. But he knows that they won't hear. That's why he says it. He says that from the womb they go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. 4 says the poison is like the poison of a serpent. Their conversation is like a serpent conversation. And they are like death adders that stop her ear. She can't hear nothing. You're wasting your time. 5, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Meaning they telling them what it is, the means of your salvation. But it goes in one ear what? Yeah. And out the other, because they can't focus. So don't even worry. You know what you need to learn not to do with people like that? Learn not to even raise your voice. Keep your inside voice. Speak quietly to those that can listen and hear. And then just move on. Okay? Don't get caught up with it. Because that means you're just wasting your what? Right. Stop giving them that energy. Stop. Don't even give them the energy. Give it to those who really want it. That we say those who have an ear, let them what? Let them hear. Those who got an ear. Because these are the ones who got an ear because they asking for it. I want to hear that. I want to know that. So that's what he said. Find those or seek out those who really are truly an audience, for those who really want to hear, and not for those who just come for the playtime of it all. Because then for them, you're just really wasting your breath anyway, right? That's what he said, because they deaf. Deaf is mute. Deaf is those who can't hear nothing. Right? Doors is like a sealed vault. Now, if you get to talking about candy, cake, and ice cream, did you know they wake right up? If I get to talking about foolishness right now, they wake right up. You notice that sometimes when I say family day is over, they'll wake what? Right up. That's how you know them. See, they get a spirit of slumber when you speak truth. But it's done like that for a reason. It's done like that for a reason, y'all, so that y'all will know who's for it and who's what. Yeah. That's not. So listen. 6. So it says, so break their teeth then, right out of their mouth. Oh yeah, in their mouth. That's what he said. By that point, why he say break their teeth out of their mouth? Because there's no need for them to what? Say nothing. Go sit down, go be in the corner by. You know, I ain't talking about nothing. Because if you wanted to know, you would know. If you desire to know, he said, ask, seek, right? And you'll knock in the door, what? Be open. So for those who really want it, I commend you. For those who really want it. Because they make every effort to want it. It's not for me to frustrate myself, right, about it. You don't want it, that's you. So we will carry on. 7. Now finish 6. He says, so break their teeth, oh yeah, in their mouth. Break out the great teeth of the young lions, oh Lord. The young lions, who are those? These are those other spirits, right? You know, they ain't about the truth. They only vibrate in those things that are worthless anyway. Because a lion is definitely connected to the beast thing. You get to talking beast stuff, they listen, right? We talk video games, everybody's of video games gonna wake up, right? You get to talking about cars, everybody's of cars, what? They wake up. You get to talking about helicopters, everybody's of helicopters, wake up. You get to talking about cartoons, everybody's of cartoons, what? They wake up. So, he's saying nice. Now he's speaking my language. Exactly. See, when this time went out, this is my language. So I listen. Listen. And so let them melt away. Let them just melt away as waters which run continually. Let them. When he bended his bow to shoot his arrows, let them be cut in pieces. As a snail which melted, let every one of them pass away. He said, as a snail. You ever did an experiment with a snail? Remember they always say, what is that experiment they say with snails? Salt. Exactly. You right on the money.
Salt?
Mm-hmm. See, because you pour salt on a snail, it melts it up. And I told you, what was the salt? What is the salt spiritually? Isn't it the word of Yah? So you want to see them melt away? He said, I'm just giving the word of Yah. That's it. And watch them what? Melt away. Just like the snail. Snail meant they was already slothful anyway. They were slow to listen, slow to hear, slow to speak, slow to do anything towards what was right anyway. So just give them the word and watch them just melt away. Yeah. See, let every one of them pass away. That's what it means. Let their time come on them. Let it come as it may. Like the untimely birth of a woman. Look at that. like the untimely birth of a woman. What do you mean? A woman that didn't expect her child to what?
Be born.
So therefore, that's a miscarriage. The untimely birth. That's a child that you didn't want.
Miscarriage? That's what it means?
Mhm.
I thought that was like a baby.
No. Like this one, it says, like the untimely birth of a woman. This is one who has a child out of season. Out of season means that it's the child ain't what? Ain't ready. See, he's telling you that these type of people gonna have a lot of things that ain't ready. Why they ain't gonna have a time? Why they won't be ready? Because these were the times they should be what? Getting ready. Exactly. But instead, what do they do with their time? Exactly. They waste their time. So because they waste their time, you let them. You let them. That what? For the purpose that they might not see what? The sun. Who was the son they didn't see?
Yeah.
Go back to the Wisdom of Solomon 5. Go back right quick. This is what they didn't see. We there? It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as that have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. And when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he, whom we had sometimes in derision, we played with, and a proverb and a reproach. For we fools accounted his life as just madness. We try to call him madman, right? A madman, and his end to be without honor. How is it that he is numbered amongst the children of who? Yah, and his lot is amongst the saints. Therefore we have erred from the way of what? Truth. And the what?
The light of righteousness
have not shined unto us. And the what? The Son of righteousness rose not what? Upon us. See, they did not know. Now go back to that scripture, Psalms 58. That was that son of what? Now when you go back into the verse of what? 8. So as a snail which melted away, let every one of them pass by, like the untimely birth of a woman, that they may not see what? The sun. That they did not know that was an elect. That they didn't know. Now the strangeness of his salvation is this part right here. He says at 9, before your pots, he's talking to the righteous. Listen, before your pots or your vessels, your bodies, listen, before your bodies can feel the thorns, because thorns are those things that what? Poke you, they'll poke at you. So he says, before Yah allows anyone to poke at the righteous, guess what's going to happen? He shall take them away as with a what? Both living and in his wrath. This is a twofold. This is a twofold mystery. He says he will take them away as with a whirlwind. Who's getting taken away?
The ones who poke at you.
Who's getting taken away as with a whirlwind?
The ones who are being poked at.
The ones who are being poked at. Yah will take them away in a whirlwind. Who else got taken away in a whirlwind that we know? Enoch. And who? Elijah. Yah will take them before it looked like the enemy almost think they got them. They're going to be good. That's what it said, the strangeness of the righteous man's salvation. is that right when we thought, he wakes up in great boldness, and just like that, he's gone. And what happens? Both living. That's what he means. Both the living. Who's living? The righteous ones. So who's getting taken in the whirlwind? And who's left? Because in the whirlwind also, he says what? And in his what?
Wrath.
So somebody left in the wrath, the whirlwind of wrath. So who's going to be left? Who's going to be left?
The other direction. Just laid on the one who killed him.
Yes, the one who troubled him will be left to deal with what? The wrath of who? Yah. The wrath of Yah. He says, and both taken away as with a whirlwind. Both the living, and in exchange, replaced with those left for his wrath. See, Yah gonna always pull his what? Heavenly parents gonna always what? Pull theirs what? Out. And leave behind what? That's why I say the strangeness of that one's salvation. Like, wow, how did that just happen? How did that just happen? The story of Hermes, when he was with the bride of Yahushua, how he was with her for one moment, she bathed in the Euphrates River, and then when he thought about it, he looked again, she was gone. And she came, the heavens opened, he looked at her from the sky, and she's waving back down, telling him, hail Hermes. And he looked at, how did you get the strangeness of her what? Salvation. How strange was that? And he was left behind for the beast. See, Yah was always going to deliver his out the way. So how strange will the salvation be? But it's a twofold, meaning they both standing now. How they always say, one will be taken, one will be what? Left. Two gonna be what? Two gonna be there. One gonna be what? One gonna be what?
Yes.
One gonna be taken, one gonna be left. Two gonna be standing there. One gonna be taken, one gonna be left. See, that's the thing. In the age of maturity, you ain't never got to worry about, what I had to learn was I never got to worry about the progress of somebody else. You got to focus what? On the progress of yourself. Because when it's time for y'all to come, he ain't going to make no mistakes. Those that practice righteousness are what?
Righteous.
The righteous will be what? Saved. We ain't got, that's without shadow of a what? Shadow of a doubt. But those that play, that don't take this stuff serious, don't ever think that you ain't got to do the work neither. And you still gonna what? You do. Because for everyone that is saved, best believe they will have it accredited to them that they did the what?
Right.
They did the work. They put in the steps. So never get yourself down. You hear me now? Even in moments like that, don't get yourself down. Because remember, you up, right? You hear things that one day people gonna wish they hear. So you don't have to worry. You stay focused. You do what you gotta do, okay? And you resist the devil. When those modes come when you want to just get sleepy or drowsy on it, you fight the devil. Say, I'm not finna give in to that. Because you know how badly you do want it. See, I be wanting this so badly that I ain't gonna lie, I used to be like some of you, just fall asleep. Man, every time I hear, But then in myself, I realized that ain't gonna get me saved. That ain't gonna keep working for me. Eventually, I gotta take things what? And you're gonna realize it. Because you don't get what you put into it. See, it ain't about being here in body. We don't need body bags. Right? We don't just need to count. We're not counting heads. But we counting what? Spirits. So don't never think what they don't do that it's accountable to you. No. You know you put forth your effort. That dying is that desire even to want to concentrate and focus. That's what y'all looks at. That's the sincerity. And y'all grants that and y'all approves it. And then with those great secrets, you're coming to the knowledge of Yah. Because sometimes we have all the time in the world for other things. But when it comes to righteousness, that's the whole point. We don't consider it until our end comes. And then we realize who is the righteous. The righteous going to be just that much more better, right? Because everything we miss, that righteous going to pick up, ain't it? Because in the last days, y'all say, have no questions. Yahushua going to say, have no questions for me. Because all that time for questioning going to be what? Done. It is finished. What y'all says about those books? He opens the books, he says some words, and then he what? He closes the book. And he gonna ask, did everyone hear? Those who hear, let them what? Let them hear. Those who can get it, get it. And those who don't, what? So therefore, we know both the living. 10 says, the righteous shall rejoice when they seeth the vengeance. Because what comes for the rest? Vengeance. So the righteous is going to be happy for it. You know what the righteous is going to be happy for these moments. It's moments like this that they happy for. Did you notice that? It's moments like this. Like if you saying, man, they just won't wake up. It's going to be moments like that that you're going to be happy for because you know you won't be amongst nobody else. They just going to what? Fall or what? Asleep. See, these are the moments that are going to determine you. You're going to see it. It's not for you to worry because now you understand. That's one thing they ain't going to never get and they ain't going to never see. It's the son of what? Righteousness. They ain't going to be able to get it because he's going to come like a thief in the what? When it's nighttime. What everybody doing at nighttime? That's how you know. There you go. The word is always missed when you fall what? Asleep. That's when the sun does his thing. Like a what? Thief in the night. When you turn your back, when you ain't giving it too much thought, when you ain't paying no attention, like a thief what? In the night. That's how the spirit moves. Because it know who it wants. It know who it desires. Those with a pure heart. Those with a sincerity. I would say ask, right? Ask, and you shall what? Receive. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be open. So think about the person who's doing those three things. They putting forth what? Some real effort, ain't they? So 10, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance and shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. So that man shall say, verily, see, there is a reward, see, for the righteous. Verily is a God that judges in the earth. You see that? He is a rewarder for those who seek what? Righteousness. See, this is about seeking what? Righteousness. See, that's the whole point. I do these things so that we can seek what? What is needed? What is necessary? What are the steps? What are the actions? What is the course going forward? I think that what we come for? To know what to do next. So then, who falls asleep at that moment? And what is the outcome for those who missed it? They don't know what to do. What? Going forward, do they? Mm-hmm. They don't know what to do. Listen. Go to John 10, 25 to 30.
John 10.
Mm-hmm. And Yahushua answered them. We there? Yeah. 25 said, Yahushua answered him and said, I told you and you believe not. See, the works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But you believe not, because you're not my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I give unto them eternal life, and they shall not perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father which gave them me is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hands. I and my Father are one. You see that? So therefore he's telling them that my sheep hear my voice. They listen. They take heed. And they follow. And he says, for all of them who do so, these are those that will receive what? Eternal life, right? And they shall never perish. In that day, they're going to be taken. In that day, trust me, not one of them going to be left behind. Because they all going to know where to go. They all going to know the moment because their lights didn't what? They didn't go out. And he says, and neither shall not any man, because it's impossible for any man to come along and pluck them out of my hand. Why? Because my heavenly parent gave them what? To Yahushua. For the what? What do you mean? Gave them to Yahushua for the teaching. They was given to him for the preparation. Preparation. I always used to say this when I was young, when they taught me this. What does the Bible instructions mean? What is Bible? Bible is an acronym. What does it mean?
Leaving Earth?
Yes. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. It was always an acronym. instructions. You needed instructions. That's why he said, don't despise the what? Chastisements. Whom I love, I what? Meaning, in chastisement to instruct. My sons and daughters I instruct according to righteousness, that they shall be what? Saved. Basic what? Instructions before leaving. Yeah, you wasn't staying here. The jacked up people were staying. That's why when those times come, what does Yah say he do to them when it was time? Then he says he strike them with darkness. He strikes them down with sleepiness. Watch this here. Matthew 13:15.
Matthew
13. And let's start at 11 then. So 11, he says, Matthew 13:11. And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. How you know it's not given? Because the word gonna be spoken. It's just everyone ain't gonna what? Catch. Listen. For whosoever haveth, to him shall be given. So whoever have the instructions, even more instructions will be what? Given. Exactly. And he shall have more abundance. But whoever have not the first set of instructions, from him shall be taken even what he thought he would have. So therefore, if you ain't paying attention to the first little bit, ain't no way it's impossible to give you any second little bit, right? Because you ain't even gathered that. So even what you thought you have shall be what? Taken at that point. Meaning you finna be led astray. Listen. Therefore I speak to them in parables, because they seeing not, seeing not, and hearing they what? They hear not. It's plain. He said, in seeing they see not, and in hearing they hear not. Neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, by hearing you shall hear, and you shall ain't gonna understand nothing. And seeing you shall see, but you shall not perceive. Right? For these people's heart is waxed gross. Waxed gross meaning they too fat. Fat of other teachings. They what happens after Thanksgiving meal? Anybody want to know what's going to happen after Thanksgiving? See, when you already filled with a teaching, see, they don't be, look, when you already filled with a teaching, because we know they call it food for thought, right? See, when you done filled yourself full of teachings already, you already what? Full. So what happens when you full already? What do you tend to do?
sleep.
You tend to go straight to sleep after your teachings, right? After your teachings, you go right, what? Right? Dull of hearing, eyes they have closed. Now watch this. He says, and their eyes they have closed. See, for the people heart is waxed gross. They teach they already full. And their ears are dull of what? Hearing. They can't hear nothing else. Man, I can't hear nothing they hear, bro. Man, that other food I just ate was real. Whew. Whew. And he says, and their eyes they have what? Begin to what? Sink in their seat. They begin to what? Close their eyes, folding of the hands. I got enough teaching in me to last a lifetime for today. I'm full. And at least at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears what they need to be hearing, and should understand with their hearts, and should have had, and they would have been converted. And I should what? Heal them. I would have what? Healed them. Go to Matthew 5. Mm-hmm. But look at this. Matthew 5 and 3. But blessed are the poor in spirit. You see? Poor. What they poor in? Spirit. So these want to know. Say, for these that want to know, for theirs is what? The kingdom of what? Heaven. See, they're going to be declared all things. They were going to be revealed to all things. Listen, blessed are those that mourn, for they shall be what? Comfort. See, they're going to have righteousness. Listen, it says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inhabit the earth. See, these are those that have been broken. They come for the truth. How do you know they come? Because it's going to stay right here. But blessed are them which do hunger and thirst after righteousness. So they hunger and what? And thirst for it. What is hunger and thirst? See, when you want out, when you really want out, when you can't no longer eat the bull crap, you're gonna do what to that plate? You're gonna turn it down, and then you're gonna starve for what? Like these, what are they hungry for? You see, they want to know. See, but it takes a level of wanting to know. See, when you get hungry for something, oh, you come hungry. When you hungry, you up, ain't you? You up when you hungry, ain't you? When you thirsty for the real food, then you gonna obtain it, ain't you? You come for the real food. I don't care what you just got through eating. What you come for? The real food, huh? What you really come for? Huh? What did you really come for? See, this was going to determine righteous and what? Unrighteous. Because, see, these didn't hunger. It said they wasn't hungering after a plate of food. But they hungered after what? The word. For these, though, shall be what? Filled, though. See, these gonna get fed. Don't worry. They gonna get everything they what? Came for. They ain't gonna leave out starving. See, some come for one thing, some come for another. But for what you came for, you gonna get. Yeah. You gonna get what you came for. But in those days, when we actually get to sit down and open up the net, and all the fishes that got caught in the net, it says they began to separate the good fish from like the crabs, from the oysters, and they get the good fish and they put them on that side, and all the crabs and eels they put over there to the other side, all the other little water creatures that might got caught in that net too. They begin to separate them and put them over there, the crusty crabs and stuff like that, And so they see the amount of fish that they caught. Now, the amount of fish that they caught is telling you that we're going to throw some bait out there, right? True fishermen of men and women. But it's always going to be known what they come for by the design in which they looked after they caught. You know what I mean? If you come for the truth, you're going to look like those who come for the truth. But if you came for something else, you're going to look like those that what? Came for something else. It's going to be made obvious. See, those who hunger for this are going to come for that. They're going to be full of it. Those who didn't come for that are going to have a whole different shape, form, and fashion to them, aren't they? Because you're going to be able to tell the difference. It's going to be if those are pure in heart. That's what he's telling you. He says, for those in pure in heart, the merciful shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see what? Yah. See, they're going to see the Son of what? Righteousness. They're going to understand it. They're going to be able to interpret it so that they can be healed from their situation, that they can fully understand. Because to be healed is to really understand what's going on. That's what we come for. Blessed are these peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of what? Of Yah. These are the children of Yah. That's why it says, go to 1 Peter 1. Let me see. Is that what I really want? Go down to 6. He says, so wherein, 1 Peter 1 and 6. He says, so wherein we greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations. Heaviness talking about you fool, right? That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than gold that perishes, though it be tried with fire, may be found. See, this is how your soul need to be found in these last days. Found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of what? Yahushua. You need to be found praising, understanding the truth, walking in the what? Truth in the light of Yahushua. Whom you have not seen, you love, and whom, though you not see him not, you believe in, you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory. Unspeakable means it's hard to interpret it unless you got the what? Spirit, exactly. And receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets had inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of this grace that should come unto you, searching, see, what in what manner of time the Spirit of Yahushua, which was in them, did signify when he testified beforehand the suffering of Yahushua and the glory that should follow. See, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into. So wherefore, gird up your loins of your mind, be sober. Sober means to be what? Sober. And hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua. As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to the former lust in your what? See, what is darkness then? To ignore. See, this is what gets a lot of us caught up. Our darkness is just ignorance. It's just a state of mind that we don't care. We fool, remember? We can't hear nothing else. Our plates are too much. We got so much going on, Lord. That's all we want. But they learned how to scrape off that stuff on their plates and seek after what? Righteousness. So that's going to be the difference. Purpose will rule over what? Vanity. You see that? Those vain people who come for no hope, nothing more but just pleasures. See, that's what they think. That spirit gonna live on, ain't it? They always swear they got time, right? They got time. Watch this here. Go to Revelations 19:7. This will be the last one. Revelations 19. So it says, so let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him. For the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. She made herself what? Remember we just talking about Hermes and the lady that was bathing? She made herself what? She cleansed herself. See, what is filth? What is the filth? It's all the other teachings. That's all it is. You gotta learn how to turn them plates of food what? Yeah. So that you can focus on the real food. How you gonna think upon something when your ears are already full of bull crap? Yeah, that's why you laugh, because you know it's impossible, can you? When you're already full, right? It's impossible to intake any more once you full, right? If I done seen 100 horror movies, okay, I'm full. My eyes are what? It's tired. I done seen enough. I'm supposed to go to bed. And then here we go. Better yet, I've been in the club all Saturday night. Seen it, all manners of stuff all night. Right? Partied, drunk, drink, ate, all the stuff I could eat, buffets, everything. And then you tell me to get up on Sunday morning to go to church. But I'm still full. See, I'm still full. From the night, what? Before. Then how can I wake up until the morning of the day? How can I be ready for the light of day? When I'm still full from last night. I had a funky good time. I'm so well. That's all I'm full. Then you tell me Sunday morning, let's go to church and hear some good words. I don't know if I can do that. I gotta first, how they say when you eat too much, I gotta first go to the restroom and what? Release some stuff, don't it? Before I can intake any more. So some of us get too full of the nonsense, and then when it's time for something good, what? They ain't got no what for it. No energy for it, no time for it. Huh? No room for it. I ain't got no room for it. You can come back and say, well, whatever you got out of it, the whole thing. That's how I know. Because you come back and say, okay, what did you learn concerning to that last night? What you got out of that last night? They'll be able to tell you verbatim. And then you say, okay, well, what you got out the Sunday morning? What they said again? They can sing your favorite song, right? At the party. You play that, you know that verbatim one. Just sing along verbatim. Give me Psalms 23, verbatim. That's what he mean. You fool. You can't take another bite. You see? You fool. But you tell me, which one of those meals was going to get you into heaven, though? So no matter how much of the first one you ate, even if you ate it to the clean, But what about that plate? Which plate really matter?
See, you gotta let that stuff go. The first one you just ate, you gotta let that stuff go. That's just a waste of time.
It was just a waste of time.
You have to.
Huh?
I said, throw it up if you have to.
Throw it up if you have to. Exactly. That's what he says. A lot of us gonna throw it up, but then go right back to it, right? That's what he said. They throw up and go play, wallow back in their own filth. Exactly. Go right back to it. But the goal was to come what? Out of it. That was the goal. Was to what? Come out of it. So that you could receive what? The new. Right? He says, I can't pour. See, that's the whole secret. I can't pour new wine into what? Oh. Exactly. You see now? How can I pour something new into you when you too full of the filth? I can tell you full. Because you ain't got no room for nothing new. That's what the bottle already suggested. I was ready to pour something new and then you was I can't take nothing else. Yeah. And you missed the whole point. And then, see, that's just the thing. That's what he taught him about the bread. Watch this here. I guess I got to give you this one then. Go to John 4. Seven. Start at 6, I'm sorry. John 4 and 6. Now Jacob's well was there. Jesus Yahushua, therefore being wearied in his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour. There came a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua said unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away into the city to buy meat, to go get food and drink. It's time to eat. Listen, time to eat and drink. So then, now it says, then the woman of Samaria said unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, ask drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For we heard that the Jews ain't got no dealings with the Samaritans. That's what she said. I heard that people like y'all don't even fool with people like us. So how is it you want me to give you something to drink, right? So Yahushua 10, then Yahushua answered and said unto her, But if thou knewest, see, if you understood the gift of Yah, and who it is that said to you, meaning if you knew him, the son of what? Righteousness. See, if you could see, if your ears ain't closed, and if your eyes ain't too dark with your own thoughts and own selfishness, then you can hear and you can see who it is that's talking to you. You would have said, no, forget that. You give me what? Something to drink. That thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given, and he said, and I would have given you the living water. So he's obviously telling her the water that he was asking for really ain't what? It ain't worth nothing. But he was just showing her who got what you need. And it ain't that well right there. Listen. So the woman said to him, 11, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, first of all, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Like, what you mean? What you got to eat or drink, right? all of us, all our lives been getting it from here, from this source. See, but he's explaining to her the difference between flesh and what? Spirit. See, we desire food and drink that comes from what? Flesh. And we can care less if we get anything what? Spiritual. How do you know? 12. Art thou greater than our fathers Jacob, which gave us this well and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle? See, now everybody ate and drank of this. And Yahushua answered and said to her, but guess what? He hit her with the real. Whoever will drink of this water and basically eat of that food gonna what? And yeah, it ain't gonna satisfy you. Remember he said they was gonna be thirsty and hungry, and they shall be filled or satisfied with what? Righteousness. See, that's how he was gonna know who came for what. He said, but if you eat and just drink this of the flesh, you gonna what? You gonna hunger and thirst again because you gonna, that's how he is, right? We know after we eat a plate of food, what, 30, 40 minutes, 50, what? About an hour after we let that digest, we just what? Want some hungry again. We just want some more food. See, but this right here is a teaching that you can't bypass if you really say you come for something that's more than just a plate of what? Food. So he says, if you just come for that, surely, yeah, you're right. You just gonna be hungry. We can play this all day, every day. If that's all you come for. Because an hour or so later, what you gonna be saying? I'm hungry again. So that's why he even told him in the past scriptures was like, don't come follow me for no food and drink. If that's all you come what? For. Because that's just a waste of what? Energy, time, substance. What is it for? It's just a drainage. But can I offer you what he says in 10? The gift of Yah? Can I offer you something that's of more substance? Can I give you something that's more worth it? That ain't vain? Can I give you something that ain't vain and hopeless? That would say you're going to thirst again. That means it's hopeless. Because eating is what? Yeah, exactly. How you know it's hopeless? Because we can do that what? All day, every day. Feed me what? Feed me more. He said at the restaurant, feed me more. See, they can do that all day. That's why he says, but can I offer you something that is worth more substance? Can I offer you something that really does matter? Something that once you eat and drink of this, and this work, that you can see that's going to profit you way more than this? Can I offer you something that'll profit you more? That's why I say they have waxed what? Gross. Remember gross? Gross means just fat. You just wax fat. Because you desire flesh more than what? Spirit. You desire flesh over spirit. Right? He says, but 14, but whoever drink of the water that I shall give them shall never what? Thirst. But the water that I shall give shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. You see that? What he offers is a well within yourself. It's self-sustaining at that point. You want to self-sustain? He said, I can show you how to self-sustain. Or do you just come, right, for the flesh? See, that's what he knew. He understood his disciples, and he understood who was not as what? Because you do have an audience for those who really come to hear. That way, I always say, them who have an ear, let them what?
Yeah.
Them who really come to learn, we can teach you. Those who really thirsty and hungry for righteousness, we really can show you some things. That's what he always said. But seek ye first what? The kingdom of heaven, and all these things shall be what? Added on what? Added to you. So what comes first? Yeah. See, it's like this. I eat, but I know if it's gonna take away the word, then I gotta make a decision. I gotta make a true decision with myself. See, if I do that and then it put me away for the whole message, then which one was worth it, right? But which one is worth it? If it puts me away when I miss the whole message, but I'm full though, which one gonna keep me going though? It's gonna be the word. See, we gotta know the difference. Or it's in what? Vain. I don't want none of us to be in what? Vain. That's not the what? Purpose, is it? See, that's what it means. Goes back to the beginning. What is the title of this? Purpose rules over vanity. Exactly. You gotta have purpose. Purpose is gonna trump that. Those who come with a purpose in mind, and those that just come for vain. But the purpose is gonna walk right over them, because they gonna come to an end. They just got a period of time. But those who come for righteousness, they're going to continue on. That's why I showed you in Wisdom of Solomon how it was when they finally met the righteous person. Like, well, dang, this is one of the righteous. And they marvel at the salvation, like he or she found out what truly was going to save. And they obtained it. And y'all took them away in a what? Y'all just take them. See, once you mature with y'all, there's no need for you to stay here amongst those that don't want to what? See, Yah's like a great gardener. He walks on the earth and looks for good fruit. Didn't it say that? And he sees a good fruit that he sees ripe and mature, like if any one of us was walking through a garden, right? You're going to pluck that apple or that orange that looks good to eat. Especially once you see the maturity that it is ripe and what? It's ready. Ready to what? To be taken. See, these you can take in the house, which represents the kingdom. Because these you can show off to the rest of those that are in the house that, here, this is good fruit. I plucked this one from the garden. They say, well, you got any more? Well, no, the rest of them are not ripe yet. That's what they're going to say. But this one is ready. That's what they're going to say when they see the righteous. Like, wow. Because now it's time for them to what? Move on. And those that not moving on, it's because that's what they chose not to do. Right? So, go to Revelations again. Revelation 19. He says, and start at 7. He says, so let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. And to her was granted, see, that she should be arrayed in what? Fine linen, clean and white. For the fine linen is what? The righteousness what? Of the saints.
Do we have Revelation 19?
Revelation 19 and verse 8. And he said, verse 9, and he said unto me, write, see, write. Blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. Remember? Because that's what fruit. What you think the fruit is being plucked for in the garden? For the supper. You hit it. For the supper of the kingdom. So these fruits are going where? Going to the supper. And he said unto me, these are a true saying. You see that? See, these that's going to be plucked. Now, what do you think called men? They plucked from where? They plucked from the earth. From what? Amongst men and women. These are taken in the what? The whirlwind. As they are. As we know. It's the maturity that Yah looks for. It's not the maturity of worldly things that we need to mature in, is it? But it's the maturity of what? Things of the what? Spirit. So these are our concerns. These are our mindset. This is our food. Right? Remember that lady we just read? What was that? Matthew, what? What's that we just came out of with the woman?
That was John.
Was it? Trying to make sure. Let me see. Yeah, it was John 4 and 13. And go down to 32. No, and 31. So after he had this conversation with the woman, right? Letting her know that he had the drink and the thirst, right? What does he say right here in 31? So in the meantime, while his disciples prayed him coming back saying, Master, eat, right? He's just by the well talking to the woman, right? So he said, but what does he tell them now? They like, yeah, we got some food, right? We came back, because that's what they left for in the first place, go get some what? Food and drink for him to eat, because they said he was hungry, right? But guess what, though? But what happened when they brought the food back? What does he say right here? When they say, Master, eat. But 32 said, but he said unto them, what? I have meat to eat that you know not what? Of. Yeah, I got a meal all right. Yeah, the meal wasn't what you thought it was. What was his meal? The word with that lady. That was the meal. That was the meal. He said, yeah, I got meat to eat, but it's not this. Man, I still got a work to do, but it's not what? This ain't what I'm here for. That's what he was saying. In essence, I'm here. I know I have to, but this ain't all I'm here for. The purpose is in what? Saving what? Souls. That's what he meant. Righteousness I must what? Fulfill. So he knew at that point, this is what I need to be focused on. And this is what I will be what? Focused on. And meaning, I ain't never, ever got no time for what? For the word. I always make room what? That's what we have to do. No matter what we got going on, make room for what? That's what he meant. I got food to eat. I know no matter whatever I'm doing in this world, I'm going to make room for what? The word. Because that's what always, and it's going to be first priority, top of the list. No matter what else I might got going on in this world. But does y'all really care for? That you get that word in you, okay? That's the purpose. Make sure you got that word in you. I don't care whatever else you got going on, whatever else you're doing, make room for dessert. Make room for dessert. Because this is the sweetest part. This is the sweetest part. Okay? Always make room for dessert. That way you can learn for the purpose in which we came. Right? So that is the purpose. Over what? Over vanity. Vanity means what now? One last time. What is hopeless? Because he said if you eat and drink of this, you're going to surely just want that all over. Keep wanting that. And you're not improving. You're not improving spiritually, are you? The goal is to improve spiritually, and it's not to do two things. It is to go forward. It is to improve. But it ain't for you to stand still or go what? Backwards. It's not for you to stand still, and it ain't for you to go backwards. But it is for you to ever learn, ever grow, and ever keep going what? Forward spiritually. Okay? That's what the word is for. And the word is greater than anything else you can get, okay? So just remember that, all right? For those who got an ear, let them hear. So with that, that's going to conclude our family day, okay? So let's pray. Who feel like praying? Let's go. Our heavenly parents, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. For our heavenly parents, or the power, the kingdom, and the glory, forever and ever. Hallelujah. Thank you.